Let's go.
Schedule your vaccination today at Prevnar20.com.
My name is Mary Grace. I lost my mom to Alzheimer's in 2017. And 2 months after losing her, my dad was diagnosed. The earlier the diagnosis you have, the more time you have with your loved one. With my dad, now that I know what's coming, I'm able to create memories not only for him, but for myself. Though when he can't remember, I'll remember for him.
For more information, contact us at alz.org or through the 24/7 helpline at 800-272-3900. Sponsored by the Alzheimer's Association.
KQFN Tempe. Also transmitting on K257CD Phoenix at 99.3 FM and K240 EU Mountain Hills at 95.9 FM.
All right, people, settle down.
Because it's time.
Time for what?
Showtime.
When does it start?
Right now. 3, 2, 1.
Let's get on with the show.
Let's do it.
All right, everybody, it's Wednesday here on the Daily Blender. I'm your good friend, your radio pal, Jeffrey O'Brien, not alongside Randy White. He will be with us tomorrow, but we got Keon Rose in the control room, and you guys are on the Fanatic text line, 888-368-1580, broadcasting live in the Harmon Solar Studios in Scottsdale on NFL Eve. That's right. We've got one sleep left until it's football time. It doesn't feel real. Have you done your picks yet? Have you thought about your picks? Do you even know what you're doing with your fantasy football team? Are you ready for any of this? I don't know if you're, I'm not. I mean, I am, but I'm not. You know what I mean?
I do actually. I haven't actually looked at anything yet. I probably should do that, but it doesn't feel, it doesn't feel real yet is the best way of saying that.
Yeah. Yeah, well, I'll tell you what, it is real tomorrow because at 3 p.m. we'll do our Harmon Solar NFL Fan Pick'em Picks. And then at 4 o'clock, we'll have the Fantasy Football King with us to answer your fantasy football questions. And then, of course, the broadcast for the first game of the year starts at 4:30 p.m. here on 1580 The Fanatic. So we're ready. We're scheduled. But just today, I feel like we should do our way too early Super Bowl predictions. You know, maybe we should take a look at some of the proposed win totals for some of our favorite teams. But even that just feels like months away. You know what I mean? It just feels like, I can't conceive. I don't know why. This is the first year it's really felt this way. And I don't know why that is. It's no different amount of time between the last game and this game. It's always about the same. I just don't know why this one feels so just... I don't know. It feels like we haven't had football in 2 or 3 years.
It felt like a very long off season, and maybe that's, because the Cardinals are rebuilding. So, the excitement, you kind of have to.
Well, none of my excitement has anything to do with the Cardinals.
Okay, that's fair. I just mean like in the area, you usually if a team's ramping up to a season they're excited about, you could feel it around in the air.
You can be excited about what is happening with the Washington Commandos, because the actual things have happened. We've got some good news and bad news today about your Commandos. We'll talk about that here in a little bit. But, as far as things go, you've got every reason to have an optimistic outlook. You should be excited for what starts this week in the NFL. I got a replay of last year, unless Anthony Richardson, the daredevil quarterback, behaves himself and, doesn't get murdered. I got a nice bright season ahead, or the same frustrations as before, and then I'll be at the mercy of Joe Flacco. Oh God, I don't even like to say that out loud. And so then the Arizona Cardinals kind of in the similar boat with my Colts, because it all comes down to keeping Kyler Murray upright and seeing the emergence of the superstar that is to be Marvin Harrison Jr. the third. There is no the third. I just like to tag that on. So, we have things to look forward to. You haven't had anything to look forward to in years. But yet this year we all have things to look forward to, but it doesn't just feel real. I don't know why.
Well, I've had things to look forward to. It's just none of it is.
Yeah, like get rid of this owner. We're looking forward to a new regime.
Yeah,
looking forward to this new quarterback.
but that does happen often enough. Like we haven't had the same coach for 20 years. So when you get rid of the old guy, you're like, okay, maybe this is the guy that's going to fix it. This is the guy that's going to get it better. I've looked forward to those things. And of course, like, RG3 was a quarterback that had a rookie of the year season. Like I looked forward to that. So no, I mean, there have been years where there have been stuff to look forward to.
That was like over 10 years ago, wasn't it? RG3 was a long time ago.
Yeah, that was a while ago. I'm just saying.
I just meant recently. I wasn't looking for.
No, I'm just saying over time there have been things to look forward to. It's not like when Ron Rivera
had to go the Wayback Machine for that one.
Well, as far as a quarterback, I was excited about. Like we haven't had a quarterback to be excited about in a very long time. But when Ron Rivera showed up, like he was an actual grown up being a coach, which in that building was rare. So like I look forward to that when they hired him.
Yeah, I mean,
it didn't end well, but
Rivera, I feel like was a good coach. You know what I mean? He was a good coach.
He's the coach that should just be a coach. You don't ever give that guy GM powers. It's not going to work.
But he also was trying to do something inside of the old regime's building. You know what I mean? So yeah, everything was going to be weird under Snyder. But well, whatever the case, that's the past. Let's look at the future. You got something to look forward to. I might have something to look forward to. The Cardinals might have something to look forward to. So let's just go with that. What are you feeling about your NFL team this year? Are you feeling like this is it? This is our year. We're going to win the Super Bowl. I know Boogie would type in large capital letters that the Detroit Lions are going to win the Super Bowl. He did that even when they were like 2 and everything, at the end of the season, not even the playoffs. He'd still type that. But, what are your feelings about your team and going into this NFL season? Do you have an idea of who you think is going to be in the Super Bowl? Do you have an inkling? I mean, we all probably think the Chiefs will be part of that equation.
I mean, how could you not at this point? They just keep going back. At some point, you think that maybe there'll be a year where someone figures it out, but I haven't seen anybody figure out Patrick Mahomes yet.
Yeah, and last year we were sitting there kind of going, this does not seem like a Super Bowl team this year, do they? Boy, they seem just a little lackluster. And they're like, what's their schedule? What's their record? They won all those games. It didn't feel like they were winning all those games.
Some of them were ugly wins against bad teams that you think that they would be better against, but they figured out a way to win and they won their division and had a good path.
Good chance it's the Chiefs and the 49ers again. The Lions could be involved in this. They might be involved in this. The Eagles are always somebody you got to think about. The AFC has been figured out. It's the NFC. It's going to be hard to figure out. But if it's not the Chiefs, is it the Ravens?
I mean, I feel good about the Ravens, but we've got to see if Lamar can do it in these big games because he's been flat in the last couple of them.
Is it more likely the Ravens or the Texans if it's not the Chiefs?
It feels very likely that it would be the Ravens. The Texans, though, are damn.
Trick question. It's not going to be the damn Texans. It'll be the Colts. We're going to beat them this week.
Are you finally feeling good about that? Because you weren't sure yesterday. You hadn't crunched the numbers.
Yeah, I'm picking. I'll just give you the spoiler alert. I'm probably going to pick the Colts. Although a star wide receiver with an injury does not make me feel great. That also makes me not feel great about the fact that if we have a wide receiver in Downs who is injured, that might make Anthony Richardson feel like he needs to run more. And we all know how that movie ends. So there might be something there. Anyway, so all right. So do you want to go ahead and give your Super Bowl prediction? I think I already have given mine. I feel like I've given mine. I think mine is going to be Chiefs and 49ers because that's the easy way to go. Chiefs and 49ers. If not them, the Lions. I'll give you the Lions.
You'll give them the Lions. Yeah, that's what it feels like too. And it's kind of boring to say Chiefs and Niners
again. That's the chalk for a reason.
But and they are, the two best teams in their respective conferences as of today. So yeah, I'm just gonna say Chiefs and Niners. I want a more interesting answer than that, but I don't think you would be honest.
I mean, could be the Ravens, but I'll be honest, I'm not feeling that. So much talent in Lamar Jackson. And it's not that the Ravens are a bad team, but so far they have not figured it out. But, they got Derrick Henry, they got Lamar Jackson, so you can't count anything out. So the Ravens and maybe the Eagles somewhere out there as a possibility. But I guess right now, this is my way too early Super Bowl prediction. I'm going to go chalk. I'm going to go boring. I'm going to go Chiefs and 49ers again. I'm not even upset about it, by the way.
Yeah.
You're like, "No, I'm so tired of the same thing." I'm not. I want the best two teams there.
Whenever the Chiefs
best.
and the Niners play in the Super Bowl, is it a bad game?
Never.
It's been great both times.
Yes.
So to me, that's the direction we're going in. That if we get part 3 of that, cool, man. That would be another great Super Bowl, I'm sure.
So, I wasn't mad all those years that the Patriots were dominating. I'm not going to be mad all these years that the 49ers are dominating. And I'm not mad that the Chiefs are dominating. And I'm not going to be mad that the 49ers keep trying and keep getting there and playing at a high level. I'm never mad about good football. And you're like, "I'm so tired of listening." You're not a real football fan, or you're just a bitter fan of a different team.
Yeah, and if that's your divisional rival, like I can't imagine if you're, a Rams fan, it's fun to see the Niners in the Super Bowl every year.
Or for Cardinals or
Yeah.
for Seahawks.
Yeah, so those fans, you get a pass. You get a pass.
I can hear it from you guys.
Because a good game involving your divisional rival getting a chance to win a championship is not something you want to see.
Yeah, I can understand, but if we're being honest about it, I'm a Colts fan. I should be hardwired to hate the Patriots with every ounce of my fiber and being, them cheating sons of bitches. But I was never mad to see Tom Brady play football. I was never mad to see Bill Belichick coach. I was never mad to see Gronkowski just dominate at his position. I was never mad to see Adam Vinatieri when he was over there kicking for them before he came over and kicked for us. I just was never mad about a dominant team. If you don't like it, beat them. That's the only thing. You don't like it, beat them. And so if you don't like the Chiefs, beat them. I'll never be mad about an empire team.
Especially in the NFL, because it's a salary cap league, you really can't buy a championship. So it always feels fair to me whenever
that was managed and grew into what it is.
Yeah. And so how can you really hate that?
Patrick Mahomes did not go as the first pick in his draft. So somebody saw the talent, picked him up, taught him how to do stuff, coached him, and got him to a Super Bowl. And he took them to a Super Bowl. So you're right. This is not an NBA super team that everybody complains about. This is just a team that you've got the right pieces in the right places, and you got magic happening. It could be magic that happens for my Colts. It could be magic that happens for your Commandos.
It's an awfully powerful magic, but yeah,
you can't predict it. It's just you got a great future quarterback. I might have a great future quarterback. You just never know.
You don't. And the Texans, I think last year were the example of that. That I didn't think the Texans were going to be that good.
I didn't really want to talk about those bastards.
Okay, fair enough.
Go ahead.
I'm just saying, you add a new coach, you add a new quarterback, and that could be a recipe for a season where you struggle a little bit, but they figured it out pretty quickly.
Beer Bob says, Jeffrey, were you upset when the Buffalo Bills were going to 4 straight Super Bowls when they were in the same division as your Colts? No. I love Jim Kelly. I loved seeing those guys. Also, it kind of did crack me up that they lose every time. Wasn't this sort of evil interdivisional like you idiots? Oh my God!
Most of the NFC East beat them all 4 times.
I don't root for a division. Okay, I don't root for a conference. I never have in any sport. Do not care if it's National League or American League. Don't care. If it's the NFC or the AFC, don't care if it's the West or the East or whatever conference you want to have or call it or talk about. Don't even care about when it was the Pac-12. I'm not going to care about it when it's the Big 12. Don't give 2 craps. I just don't. So when I saw the Buffalo Bills going, no, I wasn't mad that they went. In fact, a little Schadenfreude, a little bit of happy sometimes.
Yeah, no,
it was just like, oh my God, they lost again.
That has to be what it feels like to be a Cardinals fan, Seahawks fan, Rams fan. You watch the Niners go, you're good enough to go, so we can respect you for that, but you're not winning. So that doesn't feel as bad as it could probably feel.
No, at those times, like in the 90s, I was mad about the fact we didn't have a very good quarterback for all those years. I was mad that my team wasn't doing what it should be doing. But I was never mad about another team's success, just like I'm never mad about another guy's vacation. If I'm working and this guy's like, hey, I'm going on vacation, good for you, buddy. You go. I'm not like bitter because they got to go on vacation. I'm just a little jealous. I'm like, ooh, I wish I could go on vacation. But I don't begrudge anybody a vacation or a raise or a promotion. It's just, I don't know, man. I worry about my team, and then I enjoy the entertainment of whatever else happens. Or else I just would be bitter and miss out on a lot of good football. I just don't want to miss out on a lot of good football.
Yeah, that's
The Buffalo Bills in the 90s were good football, except for just that one game.
Super Bowls.
Yeah. Then it was just sad. Taco Kenny says, "Go Raiders." You all right, Taco Kenny? 602 Pats fan says, "We're not winning the Super Bowl." Yeah, you're not 602 Pats fan. Did you buy the VHS tapes of these Super Bowls when they were won? Just go put that in, and that's comfort food for you, 602 Pats fan. Just go watch that. Swazman says it'll be fun to have the NFL begin tomorrow and fantasy football. Too bad Keon's not in League Two anymore. Now we have a new cellar dweller dumpster fire team like his was last season.
But I wasn't a cellar dweller.
So who are you talking about? By the way, I think Rosalie did not go to League Two. I think she went to 3, if I'm not mistaken. Lacrosse guy says his what? For real? That's your Super Bowl prediction? All right. He says Rams and Bills. Not impossible.
But I have many questions about both of those teams.
Yeah. Which team do you think is better? Is it the Rams or the Bills? It feels like the Bills. Feels like it.
I actually think it's the Rams.
The Rams have a lot of talent, though.
The Rams have a lot of talent. I think
We're just
the
used to the
defensive side of the
Bills
ball
being good.
Yeah.
I don't know if they're that good this year.
I don't think so. And it's like, just injuries on defense. It's losses in free agency and through trades on the offensive side of the ball. Like there's a lot of question marks with the Bills, and maybe Josh Allen just makes it all happen anyway, but that would be what that is.
Well, I'll tell you what, we're going to find out firsthand when the Cardinals play the Bills in the opening game here, right? That's who they're playing, right? Hold on, I'm trying to find it on my thing here. Where's the Cardinals?
I do think the
there it
Cardinals
is,
have the Bills first. Yeah.
See, I haven't even been paying attention to that. I mean, I went through and did a dry run on my picks. Tomorrow morning, I'll sit down and legit go through and do my picks. But yeah, I just feel like, I don't know. We're not feeling like the Bills they're usually good. So, but then
yeah, and by the way, not as good as before, might still be a really good Bills team. I don't think they're going to fall all the way off.
You think they're better than the Cardinals?
I do.
Okay, don't say that in front of Randy.
Yeah,
just keep that to ourselves.
Mm-hmm.
Fish Tank says, I think the Dolphins regress this year. Defense just can't lock anyone down, it seems. We beat mediocre and bad teams, but not good teams, and we play more of those this season. Just hoping to steal that last wild card spot again. Well, you've got a lot of talent there too. Good for fantasy football numbers, but you're right. You got a rough defense. I don't know if has that defense improved any this year, Keon? Does Fish Tank have anything to look forward to on that?
I mean, as far as a little, it got a little better, but it's not. Yeah, I don't think that they're going to suddenly be, this juggernaut of a defense where they're stopping everybody. But if they can stop people enough to give their offense some breathing room, that's the most you could probably ask for.
Hey, did you think you could ever read somebody's blood alcohol level in a text? Listen to this.
Okay.
Taco Kenny says New York Jets and the Detroit Lions for the Super Bowl. Taco Kenny, you drunk? The Jets are not going to the Super Bowl.
I don't think the Jets are going to a Super Bowl, but I do think the Jets have a chance.
The Lions have a better chance, but I'd say no, the Jets aren't.
But the Jets defense is elite. Their running game is great.
Sure,
their wide receivers are fantastic.
Standing by my prediction that Aaron Rodgers is going to be hot garbage this year.
Okay. I don't know. I'll just be completely upfront about that. I have no idea what Aaron Rodgers coming off an Achilles injury looks like. I couldn't tell you. And that offensive line for New York, still not great.
All right, we're going to take a break. We'll come back and pick up your texts once again. Everybody's way too early Super Bowl predictions. And then, of course, we got all kinds of other sports stuff to talk about. But I'm not going to lie to you. This is going to be an NFL show. And if you don't like the NFL, you probably should go somewhere else because there's going to be a lot of NFL today and other weird things. A lot of weird things and NFL. Anything else?
No, I think that's it.
Yeah, that's it. It's the Daily Blender here on 1580, The Fanatic.
This is Brent Musburger's action update on 1580 and 99.3 The Fanatic.
Get insights into the sports betting market with VSiN's betting splits. See where the money is and keep updated on how the market is reacting. Only at VSIN.com. Now, here are the latest lines from my guys in the desert.
Major League Baseball, the Diamondbacks continuing their series in San Francisco tonight against the Giants, coming off an 8-7 victory in the series opener on Tuesday. Zach Gallen getting the start for Arizona tonight. 10-6 on the year. Hayden Birdsong going for the Giants. He's 3-4. Arizona minus a run and a half tonight, plus 125 on the run line. The Giants getting a run and a half, minus 150. On the money line, Arizona minus 130. San Francisco plus 110 with the over-under run total sitting at 7.5. I'm Tony Desiri with your VSiN Action Update on 1580 and 99.3 The Fanatic.
The Fanatic is your home for fall football. Catch the NFL and NCAA live games on 1580 and 99.3 The Fanatic. Brought to you by Bet365. It's never ordinary at Bet365.
I'd rather ride a bike with my kids.
Faster!
I'd rather play catch with my dog than catch pneumococcal pneumonia.
Ask your doctor or pharmacist about Prevnar 20, pneumococcal 20-valent conjugate vaccine, a Pfizer vaccine that can help protect against pneumococcal pneumonia in just one dose. If you are 19 or older with certain chronic conditions like heart disease or asthma, you are at increased risk for pneumococcal pneumonia. Prevnar 20 is approved for adults to help prevent infections from 20 strains of the bacteria that cause pneumococcal pneumonia. Continued approval may depend on a supportive study. Don't get Prevnar 20 if you've had a severe allergic reaction to the vaccine or its ingredients. Adults with weakened immune systems may have a lower response to the vaccine. Side effects include pain and swelling at the injection site, fatigue, headache, muscle, and joint pain. For full prescribing information, please call 1-855-213-2138 or visit Prevnar20.com.
I'd rather race for some ice cream. Let's go.
Schedule your vaccination today at Prevnar20.com.
Hey guys, Jeffrey O'Brien here. Did you know Harman Solar has gone super high tech? There's an amazing tool at harmansolar.com that'll give you an instant ballpark solar estimate using satellites from space. You just type in a little information, and within seconds, you'll have an idea of just how little money it takes to save big on that monthly electric bill. I did it, and within seconds, they measured my roof and calculated my savings. It's very impressive. Go to harmansolar.com and give it a try yourself. That's harmansolar.com.
With Labor Day savings at the Home Depot, you can upgrade your home with up to $1,500 off select appliances from top brands like Whirlpool. Enhance your kitchen with quality and convenience from Whirlpool, like the freestanding electric range with built-in air fryer and the tall tub dishwasher with third rack, all available at the Home Depot. Right now, shop Labor Day savings up to $1,500 off select appliances at the Home Depot. How doers get more done. Pricing valid August 22nd through September 11th. U.S. only. See store online for details.
My name is Mary Grace. There are a few misconceptions about Alzheimer's. It's not just memory loss. It's the loss of mobility, the risk of falling.
For more information, contact the Alzheimer's Association at alz.org, sponsored by the Alzheimer's Association.
Hey, what's up, everybody? Ken Barkley here, reminding you to check out You Better You Bet. Why, you ask? Well, because we bring the fun, the insight, and all the wagertainment you need. Plus, hopefully, we win a couple bets along the way. From up-to-the-minute breakdowns of backdoor covers, bad beats, and the cheers and tears that come with them, obviously. Plus, betting analysis from some of the best minds in the sports wagering world. Join myself and Nick Costos and tune into You Better You Bet. Weekdays from noon to 3 on Arizona's sports betting station 1580 and 99.3 The Fanatic.
Today, Blender here on 1580, The Fanatic. Chris the Cook says, not sports related, but recently our caregiver just had a hysterectomy. My wife is angry at me because I called her tubeless when she walked in. What do you expect is going to happen, Kiss the Cook? What do you? I mean, that's funny. That is like, but it's not.
There are things that you can say that aren't funny or that are funny.
Yeah.
Like you still shouldn't say to that person's face.
Yeah, if you say to your wife, like, "Hey, when does tubeless get here?" She'd be like, "Oh, hush, don't use that." That's just a funny little thing between you guys. But to say it right to her face, no, that's not great. No, you deserve the anger right now. I'm not saying it's not funny, but it was a little mean.
And again,
she didn't do nothing to you.
Yeah, like, and she can hear you. She's not deaf.
And she's
as far
giving
as we
you
know.
care. She will give you less care now that you've said this horrible thing to her.
Yeah.
And that's another reason your wife is angry. Case the Cook, you need a timeout. Sir drives a lot. It says Super Bowl prediction: Chiefs, Packers. No. No.
I mean,
No.
last year.
No.
I don't know. Unexpected teams go to the Super Bowl all the time. And if you make the playoffs and you're in the NFC, you got a chance.
I just see a lot of other teams with better chances. I'm not. Boy, let me simmer that one. Drives a lot. Maybe it's not that out of the question, but they would lose. They're
yeah. I mean, they roll into the Chiefs. That's good night, kids. That's yeah.
But it would be funny. Here's why: Packers get back to the Super Bowl with Jordan Love, and Aaron Rodgers is like on vacation. I kind of like that.
And if Aaron Rodgers lost in an AFC title game, and the Packers got to the Super Bowl, it would be even funnier.
Sir Drives a Lot also says Raiders. He said it longer than Taco Kenny did. More letters typed out. Average Joe says, I'm going Ravens and Lions for my Super Bowl pick. It's not a bad pick. That's not a bad pick.
Yeah, that's solid.
It's like the alternate pick of what we picked. I think Keon and I just agree, right?
Yeah.
Chiefs, 49ers. That's the easy one.
It's the easy one. They keep getting there, so I know that they can do it. Just makes sense to pick them.
No moist one. I didn't say I had a dry rub with my picks. I said dry run. But you go ahead and do whatever you want. Fish Tank says, just because I want to see something different, here's my Super Bowl prediction. Ravens, Packers. Wow, people are really kind of high on the Packers there, aren't they?
A little bit.
What reason do they have for that? Jordan Love's just been not horrible, but not great. So what's the defense?
He's been good. The not great is I don't know that that's necessarily a function of Jordan Love so much as like the wide receivers were just injured last year. They're all young. And over the course of the year, all of those guys started playing better together and the offensive line meshed together throughout the year. So I think it's just a continuation, I think, for people of the way the Packers ended last season. If you're banking on them continuing that, then I could see it.
Fubar 1000 says, by the way, I'm 0 for 18 in Blender picks and damn proud of it. My Super Bowl pick, Arizona Cardinals and Baltimore Ravens. Bird versus birds. He says, go ASU.
Like probably a more likely NFC bird you could pick there. Like maybe Philadelphia. I don't love Philadelphia, but they've got better chances than the Cardinals.
Let's take a look at that. Hold on a second. Hey, shut your face. Let's take a look at that. Cardinals. What stops them from going to a Super Bowl? Do you see how I phrase that? Not what gets them there, but what stops them. Because you got Kyler Murray, you got Marvin Harrison, you got not a bad running back, and some other guys on that committee. Don't feel like they got enough to get them there. Is that what stops them there?
Yeah, that, and I do think that defense needs a lot of help. I think that the edge rushers on the team being injured, I think that plays a factor in this as well. The defensive line still needs a little bit of work, and I do think that You know, like they need some help in the secondary. They're doing a lot of very interesting things in that defense and relying a lot on Budda Baker and his athleticism to cover up an awful lot of holes. But that defense needs work still.
So, Fubar 1000, you want to rethink that, man? Silly Wabbit says, if the Bears make it to the Super Bowl, is Bob Schwersky going to streak through Soldier Field? I'd say so, yes.
Yeah.
That's just a given. Rough Rob says, Kid the cook should have someone else try the food before eating it for a while. You're not wrong. Baker's Cocky Hen says, his Super Bowl prediction is Dolphins versus Eagles. Tua versus Jalen finally happens.
That would be, look, we'd be hearing those storylines for the entire 2 weeks leading up to the Super Bowl if that were to happen.
Well, the Eagles are short of Kelsey, so
Yeah.
I don't know how that line is going to perform. But that's a talented team. But Dolphins have some talent, and we've talked about some of their shortcomings.
The thing that concerns me with Philadelphia is actually off the field stuff. There's some drama going on between Nick Sirianni, the head coach, and Howie Roseman in the front office, and they're not getting along, which I never like when a GM and a coach can't get along, just for obvious reasons. And so they took away Sirianni's play calling abilities, and he had to turn around and tell the media, lie to the media, and say that he's okay with it. He's clearly not okay with it. But what's he going to do? It's either that or walk the plank. So he's doing what he's told, but I think that leaves some stuff open for extra drama. Jalen Hurts and Nick Sirianni don't get along either. Like there's some drama brewing in Philadelphia that I'm not a fan of.
Well, it's something to keep an eye on. So there you go, Baker Cocky Hens. Fubar 1000 says, what may stop the Cardinals is their defense. Defense wins championships. People have said that, but that's not always true. Patriots had garbage as a defense for a while. Chiefs have had a little bit of garbage on their defense. I mean, they got some good players, but they didn't have great defense on every single time they've won a Super Bowl.
Last year was their best defense.
Right. But they had worse ones before.
Yeah, I definitely agree. Like, but previously the offense carried. Last year was the first year you could probably say that the defense was really involved.
Heavy Metal Maniac says going to be another Dallas Cowboys versus Pittsburgh Steelers Super Bowl. Are you out of your bleeping mind?
Russell Wilson's going to take the Steelers to a Super Bowl, and the Cowboys, who haven't been there in a quarter of a century, are just going to break out of that prison, huh? All right.
You're not supposed to eat the crayons. Fish Tank says Dolphins versus Eagles would be called the Ace Ventura Super Bowl. Oh, yeah, that's right.
True.
Beer Bob says my way too early Super Bowl prediction is Patriots over the Bears in Super Bowl 2029. That is way too early.
that's way too early.
Yeah, but save that text
because if you call it,
if it's right, you got to show people that. Oaktown Destroyer says, here's my Super Bowl prediction: Green Bay against Kansas City, rematch of Super Bowl Uno. There's that one again.
Yeah, a lot of people high on Green Bay. I like Green Bay, but I don't know if I like Green Bay for a Super Bowl.
Sir Drives a Lot says Justin Fields, Super Bowl MVP.
Okay.
No.
And I like Justin.
No.
I think he's a good dude, because come on, let's just be reasonable about what we've seen from him so far in the NFL. It has not been great.
602 Pats fan says, I'm just trying to see what we have in Drake May and see if we can build something, with Drake May. In my opinion, he looked good in the preseason.
He did. I was not a big Drake May believer coming in. I just thought there were a lot of the footwork. A lot of his problems start with the footwork, and he found a way to clean that up a little bit, and he was making good decisions with the football. I understand it's preseason, but I liked him. But they're starting Jacoby Brissett, not because Jacoby Brissett was the better player, but because I think Gerard Mayo wisely looked at that offensive line and said, we're not putting the rookie behind that. Just not doing it. So you're going to have to wait a little bit on the Drake May building. And I think that's smart, by the way. Don't ruin him. You have a quarterback that's learning some good habits. He's fixing some of his problems. Don't put him behind an offensive line like the Bears did with Justin Fields that can't protect him, because then you're just going out there and panicking, which is what we saw.
602 Pats fan says, yeah, I think you're right, Keon. But here,
Good things are coming, though.
You got your schedule in front of you? Do you have your NFL schedule in front of you?
I can pull it up.
Because I'm looking at the entirety of this week's schedule. It looks like Baltimore and Kansas City is the best game of the week, period, which is uncommon for a Thursday night game. But, that's how the NFL does.
But that first one usually is the good one.
Okay, so I'm going to go backwards from Monday. Do you know I read a lot of stuff backwards?
I did not know that.
When I'll read a lot of stories backwards, like on like the newspaper and stuff. I don't know. It's a weird thing I do. So I'm probably, probably a few years in somebody's couch for that. But all right. So Monday Night Football, 49ers and Jets could be good.
Yeah.
If the Jets were better.
Well, if Aaron Rodgers' leg actually functions. The Jets are a good team.
That'll be interesting to see.
But it's good team with quarterback versus good team without quarterback. No quarterback, you suck.
Yep.
And if Aaron Rodgers can't move, that's going to be an issue.
Depending on how well the Rams are, the Detroit and Rams game Sunday night, that might be okay. That might be pretty good.
Yeah, that could be a solid game.
Tampa Bay, Washington.
Jared Goff rematch. No, Tampa Bay and Washington's going to be like the most blasé. It's you watch that game if you want to see what Jaden Daniels is about.
Yeah, and I do.
It's a good first test for him. Todd Bowles is a defensive minded coach, and anytime you put a defensive minded coach against a rookie quarterback, you're going to see the most exotic blitzes. Just throw a bunch of stuff at the rookie he's never seen before.
I got to be honest. The other matchups that are even close to good, my Colts in Houston. That's a good AFC matchup, but it may not be something everybody wants to watch.
Oh, I think that's going to be a great game.
Buffalo and Arizona. I think that's going to be interesting. That's going to be a pretty good game. But the rest is kind of hot garbage if you look at it. I mean, Green Bay and Philadelphia, interesting. And of course, that's going to be in Brazil. I think it's a matchup that will start to tell you kind of what you've got ahead in the season for both those teams to see if Green Bay is as good as a bunch of people on the text line think. And if Philadelphia is going to continue to be a good team even without Jason Kelce. But Steelers and Atlanta, no thank you. Tennessee, Chicago, no thank you. New England, Cincinnati, Jacksonville and Miami.
I'm somewhat interested in that.
Because of the potential fantasy football implications from all the production out of Miami offense, but that's not what you call a great game.
But also Jacksonville last year had the most dropped touchdowns of anybody in the league, and they tried to address it this offseason. Did they address it enough to where they can actually score points? Because if they can, that's not a bad game.
Panthers. Moving on.
No game involving the Panthers is a good
game. Vikings and Giants. No, not really. So that's it. So we're airing all the good games, by the way. All the games, they're pretty good. But the best game still, I think, is Thursday Night Football.
Yeah.
Chiefs and Ravens. Yeah, you're right, ASU, buddy. That's what I'm talking about. No more tush push without Jason Kelce. They can try it. They probably will. But it ain't going to be the same without that beast. I mean, I can't imagine.
I think that the tush push will be just fine.
It takes a special center. It takes a special guy.
It takes a whole offensive line, though. Like you can't.
It does, but that Jason Kelce was like Atlas down there.
Yeah.
He was carrying the world on them shoulders.
But Jalen Hurts also squats like 300 pounds. Like I don't think the tush push is gone. Is what
I don't think it's gone.
Now, do we lose?
I'm
the
unsure if
of
it'll be as successful.
Yeah, because they could do the tush push on 4th and 3. Can they do that anymore? I don't know, but I don't think it's going away.
We will find out, ASU buddy. Fubar 1000 says, Jeffrey, just consider it. If the Cards get to the Super Bowl, it comes down to the last play. Defense needs to stop the last scoring play. Remember, Cards, Steelers. Yeah, but that was a bad call by an official. That was a damn,
I don't know. I
travesty.
Don't want to get into that again, but that should not have been a touchdown.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm an outsider saying this. So,
you're not. I'm not going to argue this. Fish Tank says, better question about Justin Fields. In what week will he be the starter for the Steelers? The bye week is week 9. He says, you know what? Give me week 10.
Just looking at both of those guys in the preseason, and again, grain of salt, it is the preseason. Justin Fields did not come away looking like the better quarterback of those two people to me. I don't think the Bears are going to put him out there unless Russell Wilson is awful. Like if he's just kind of bad, I don't see how Justin Fields replaces him. If he's terrible, that's the only way you go to Justin.
If I didn't know Mike Tomlin better, I'd think there was tanking here. Or like really subtle tanking.
No, yeah, I think with Mike Tomlin, Russell Wilson is the best quarterback he's had in a long time.
Well, that's not hard to.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like that's why I know it's not tanking. They actually, because if you were going to tank, what are you moving on from Kenny Pickett for? Kenny Pickett could get you the losses much easier than Russell Wilson.
If you're driving a Kia, suddenly a Hyundai looks good.
Yeah, but if you're tanking, give me the Kia.
Pro Dog says Denver at Seattle, not a bad game. It's not a good game. I mean, it might be interesting to see what Bo Nix does, but that's not a good game.
I don't think so either, though. I'm also interested in the Bo Nix. Like a lot of these games, like Tennessee and Chicago, I'm interested in Caleb Williams. I want to see what he looks like. But if
there's moderate interest in some things, but as far as good games go, there's only a handful.
Yeah, which is fine.
But after not having football for all these months, every damn game is a good game.
I'll take anything.
All right, we got to take a break. It's the Daily Blender here on 1580, The Fanatic.
Breaking news coming in from Bet365, where every nail-biting overtime win, breakaway, pick six, three-point shot, underdog win, buzzer beater, shootout, walk-off, and absolutely every play in between is amazing. From football to basketball and hockey to baseball, whatever the moment, it's never ordinary at Bet365. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-NEXT-STEP. 21 plus only. Must be physically located in Arizona.
At Boot Barn, we believe the cowboy boot is the foundation for a life well lived. We work, we raise, we break bread, and tomorrow it starts again. This life requires a boot that supports perseverance. Ariat boots undergo 150 steps to ensure performance. Boot Barn carries over 250,000 Ariat boots nationwide because out west, tenacity is second to none. Ariat at Boot Barn.
This is an urgent announcement for anyone that's $10,000 or more in debt. Before you make another minimum payment, you need to know there are special programs that can completely free you of your debt. Total Financial Freedom can help you become debt-free in months instead of years. Resolve your credit card debt, signature loans, department store cards, internet loans, and timeshares. Call Total Financial Freedom now at 800-832-2366 for a free consultation. For 17 years, Total Financial Freedom has helped thousands get out of debt. You can feel confident when calling because Total Financial Freedom is A+ rated by the Better Business Bureau. Battling for years and years, stuck in the endless cycle of minimum payments could take decades. You have the right to get your debt resolved and substantially reduce your monthly payments. Call Total Financial Freedom now at 800-832-2366. That's 800-832-2366. 800-832-2366. Not available in all states.
With Labor Day savings at the Home Depot, you can upgrade your home with up to $1,500 off select appliances from top brands like Whirlpool. Enhance your kitchen with quality and convenience from Whirlpool, like the freestanding electric range with built-in air fryer and the tall tub dishwasher with third rack, all available at the Home Depot. Right now, shop Labor Day savings up to $1,500 off select appliances at the Home Depot. How doers get more done. Pricing valid August 22nd through September 11th. U.S. only. See store online for details.
Don't be fooled by the people you meet on social media. It may start as an innocent conversation, but anyone who tries to sell you pills is nothing more than a drug dealer. And if you think tiny pills can't do much harm, think again. Fentanyl can end it all. Know the truth about fentanyl at learnmoreaz.org. Don't be fooled. Don't be faked out. Visit learnmoreaz.org. This message is sponsored by the Substance Abuse Coalition Leaders of Arizona.
1580 and 99.3 The Fanatic, Arizona's new home for sports.
Today's Blender here on 1580 The Fanatic. And listen up, everybody. Football back tomorrow. Hell yeah. That's right. Are you ready with your fantasy? Are you ready with your picks? Are you ready with your betting? Listen, I only endorse one sports book, and I got an email today about that saying, hey, how do I get on that thing there? And was happy to explain. Talking about BetUS. And listen, that is the one sports book and casino that I will endorse, and it's BetUS. They went large for you guys this season, 125% sign-up bonus on your first 3 deposits. Not just the first one, 1, 2, 3, first 3. BetUS offers a value that other sports books just don't. They got gamblers insurance, crypto bonuses, casino bonuses. Get started today. And as I told my friend there in the email, go to betus.com. Or just give them a call, 1-800-MY-BET-US. That's BetUS, where the games begin. So let's get back to the text line and finish this up here. Baker's Cocky Hen says, I'd rather have Pickett or Mason Rudolph than Russell Wilson right now. Wilson starting. Now, that is absolute tanking. Just ask the Broncos.
Russell Wilson was better than Kenny Pickett at any point in his life.
But see, Russell Wilson ain't even Russell Wilson anymore.
Yeah, but let's that's fair to say. But let's not say that Russell Wilson was worse than Kenny Pickett. That has never happened in the NFL.
I just don't know what's going to go on. The Steelers, man, I'm glad I'm not a Steelers fan. Can you imagine that? Being a Steelers fan right now?
I could imagine it, actually.
I've had this though. Remember, I had Gardner Minshew or Carson Wentz or Nick Foles.
The Steelers are in NFL hell, purgatory, really, because they're good enough. They can't get the top quarterback in any draft class, but they're not so bad. Or they're not good enough to make the playoffs, but they're not so bad they get the top quarterback in any draft class. So they're just kind of stuck treading water eternally, and Mike Tomlin refuses for them to bottom out. So
yeah, that's almost frustrating as a GM or an owner. You got a coach that's in there who is always above 500. So you're like, well, I can't fire the guy, but then we'll never be below enough to get a draft pick. We're not high enough to go to a playoff. He's like, we're stuck in limbo because of Mike Tomlin. You might think about just firing him to get out of limbo.
You might think about it because
I hate to say that because he's a great guy.
Yeah, and I think he's a really good coach. I think when he's had his quarterback, he's put everything else around those players to be successful. But he hasn't had that for a very, very long time. And the teams that he's been able to coach to either the playoffs or borderline the playoffs, I don't know that there are very many coaches in the NFL that could even do that with that roster, to be honest.
So let's take a moment before we continue talking football and just say, yay, Diamondbacks won the game last night. They almost lost that thing, too, to the Padres. But Randall Grichuk happened. And with his 2 homers, they were able to take care of business there. Corbin Carroll, he's now, doing okay again with his hitting. Christian Walker, he got in there. So the offense did what it needed to do to beat the San Francisco Giants. Just wish it wasn't so hard to beat the San Francisco Giants last night, but there you go. We're fine. And of course, tonight, 6:45 p.m., Zach Gallen will be pitching for the Diamondbacks, and Hayden Birdsong will be pitching for the San Francisco Giants. And with his ERA, I feel pretty good. I feel pretty good about our chances.
I feel pretty good about it too. And we were kind of talking about it on Beat the Book earlier, with just the Diamondbacks runs. You can pretty much rely on the bats just going.
Mm-hmm.
Marte or no Marte, Walker or no Walker, they put runs on the board, and I think they still lead the majors in runs scored.
We just got to get ourselves a couple more pitchers.
Yeah, including some guys that you have already. They just need to get healthy.
No, I got that. So looking forward to tonight's game, 6:45 p.m. In San Francisco. Some other quick things before we talk serious NFL stuff. So I guess that 17-year-old kid who shot Ricky Pearsall through the chest has been charged with attempted murder. So I would imagine the charges are robbery and attempted murder. and assault with a semi-automatic firearm, all that stuff, attempted robbery, yada yada yada. Anyway, so he's going to be tried as an adult, I believe.
That entire situation, as far as the robber, the would-be robber, that went about as poorly for him as it could have gone. He failed to steal the thing he tried to steal. The guy lived. He took the gun from him and shot him back.
Yeah,
and now he's going to jail.
Yeah, all of it.
Just that's the worst possible result.
And really, I wish it would go that way more often,
as it should.
But yeah, so. Yeah, so that'll be interesting to see how it goes. But since he's a minor, I don't think you're going to hear a whole lot about it for a while. Chiefsaholic is getting sentenced tomorrow, which is, I don't know if that's interesting. On the same day the Chiefs are playing the Ravens, Chiefsaholic is getting sentenced. And his name is Xavier Badubar. We've talked about this guy before, and this is going to be an amazing movie. I don't know who they're going to have play him, but this has got to be a comedy. I mean, it's not funny that bank teller was threatened, but of course she's getting 10.8 million. So you can go back to it being funny again. I don't think anybody died.
And if they make the movie, then she should get a cut of that.
Absolutely. Well, that's the thing though. If they just make the movie based on everything, she won't get nothing. But if they base it on Xavier Badubar's writing or any kind of participation, whatever his cut is, would go to her.
I hope they do that. That
it
way
would
she
be
can
really nice of them.
Yeah.
But then they're like, why do we want to share profits with her? People are horrible.
That's true. It wouldn't cost anything extra really for them to do that.
I know that there is a documentary coming about this whole thing, but a movie, I think, is just a home run. A home run, as long as you get somebody funny, and I don't think it was that dark. Did it ever get dark? He went in there and said some things and scared the hell out of that poor bank teller. But was it really dark? I can't remember. As long as it's not too dark. And then if it is dark, well, then you can still make it. Make it a dark comedy.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Potentially. It would have to be a dark comedy, though. You couldn't play it light. You'd have to acknowledge that this is not a good thing that's happened.
This dude is going to games, traveling on the money that he would get from his crime spree, right? And then wearing this outfit, doing all these things. How could you not? Okay, listen, take artistic license and make this a damn funny movie. Either true to life or funny. You got to go one way or the other. There's no in between. Just another face in the crowd says, as a Steelers fan since 1974, all I expect in lean years is just that winning record. Don't you want more? Sometimes you got to get less to get more. Just another face in the crowd.
And anytime you're and most American sports are like this, but if your sport has a draft, you do have to allow yourself to be bad. When I say a team is rebuilding, that's what I mean. Like you're not trying to lose, but you're making your moves regardless of what the win-loss record is. And if you happen to be bad, you take advantage of that.
Moist One says, did you ever watch 30 Minutes or Less? Nope. Baker's Cocky Hen says, Justin Fields is better than Rusty Wilson. Wilson has never been great. His biggest moment, he threw a pick to lose the Super Bowl. An all-time defensive great team. He is the ultimate game manager quarterback and gets way too much love. Overrated like Mike Tomlin.
Mike Tomlin's not overrated, so I disagree with you on that.
Yeah, there's a lot of friendly fire happening here.
Yeah, but with Russell Wilson, I don't think that Russell Wilson's an ultimate game manager. His style of football has never been game manager. He's been risky. He takes, dangerous, angles of I'm going to get out of the pocket. I'm going to extend some plays. I'm going to risk being sacked for big chunk yards downfield. And that's the kind of stuff that Russell Wilson was doing at his peak in his prime. But there are a lot of weaknesses to his game too. And as he got older and that team got less talented, those flaws started to show up. Justin Fields and Russell Wilson played in the preseason this year, and maybe we watched two different guys. At no point Justin Fields looked like a better quarterback than Russell Wilson, and they were both playing bad preseason defenses. In fact, Justin was playing the second team. So Wilson outplayed him. Plain and simple.
What we're saying here is you're going to have a bad year. Quiet Cannon says, in a scenario where the Ravens and the Browns and the Steelers and the Bengals somehow all finish above 500, given that scenario, the Steelers could be in the playoffs. That could actually happen.
Mm-hmm. Now, once they added that seventh seed in the NFL, then yeah, there is a scenario where an entire division of football could make the playoffs if they're good enough.
You know what, though? That's the way it's wired. Sometimes you get that. Sometimes you end up with a, you would think, unworthy team going through to the wild card, going through to the conference, going through to the Super Bowl. It does happen where you're like, how the hell? One bad day for someone else and one great day for you, and bad teams can get into a Super Bowl.
Yeah, I mean, the Giants team that beat Tom Brady's Patriots, the David Tyree catch, that team backed into the playoffs. They were 9-7, but the last 5 weeks of that season were a disaster. And then they get into the playoffs, and all of a sudden, Eli Manning is the greatest quarterback on earth for exactly 4 games.
Box of Screws says, for the first time, I can say Lions are Super Bowl contenders. So I'm all over this feeling this year. Yeah, well, Box of Screws. And for the first time, we're not going to laugh at you for saying the Lions are Super Bowl contenders.
It's actually true this time.
Yeah. I mean, it's been kind of true the last couple of years.
Yeah, for the last couple, but definitely
this is your best day. This is your best year.
This is I think this is the most fully realized version of this team.
Oh, Baker's Cocky Hens. This is it. Kyler Murray is a better version of Russell Wilson, in his opinion. That is interesting. Faster, more accurate, stronger arm, not a weirdo.
People actually don't cringe every time he speaks. Yeah, no, I kind of agree.
That's interesting. That's a very astute observation, Baker's Cocky Hens. I can't even argue with you. Oh, Big George is back. Haven't heard from you in a few days. He says, hey, I'm driving back to California today from the lovely and hot Arizona. Man, the traffic is bad in the valley these days. You know, I moved away in 2020. Traffic was not existent. Yeah, because it was COVID. Nobody was driving. He says, now it's awful, especially out there by where Jeffrey lives. How do you do it? I stay home. I don't go out very often, so that's why. All right, guys, 1 hour down and 2 to go. It's a Daily Blender here on 1580 The Fanatic.
A new app called Sport Trade is coming to Arizona to make in-play bets instantly. No more spinny wheel. Search Sport Trade Wells to see the great prices Sport Trade players are getting in real time.
If you or someone you know has a gambling problem and wants help, call 1-800-NEXT-STEP.
As a mom, comforting my family is what I do best. Vicks Vapor Stick provides soothing, non-medicated Vicks vapors in an easy-to-apply stick, and it dries fast, so there's no mess. I use it to comfort myself and my family.
Thanks, Mom.
Vicks Vapo Stick, soothing comfort for the whole family. And when you need more comfort for yourself, try Vicks Vapo Shower Max for steamy Vicks vapors.
Use as directed. Vapo Stick for use ages 4 and up. Vapo Shower Max use for adults only.
Hey everybody, it's Mark Asher back to tell you about my great friends at the Lund Mortgage Team. Did you know that the Lund Mortgage Team was founded back in 1999? That's right. They're celebrating 25 years in existence this year. And you know what you have to do to stay in business that long? You have to be good at what you do. And the Lund Mortgage Team is not just good, they are great. They have helped thousands of people save thousands of dollars over those 25 years here in the Valley of the Sun. They only lend in Arizona. And they're mortgage brokers, which means they can shop your rate around. They're not tied to just one set of rates. Mortgage rates can get crazy. They can get high. They can get low. There's good times to strike and there's times to stay on the sideline. Let the Lund Mortgage Team be your coach, be your team leader when it comes to these huge decisions. Call 623-875-9940. That's 623-875-9940, or you can always check them out at lundmortgage.com. Great website with all the tools you need. Call them today. They're my great friends, and you'll love them. It's the Lund Mortgage Team.
At Boot Barn, we believe the cowboy boot is the foundation for a life well lived. We work, we raise, we break bread, and tomorrow it starts again. This life requires a boot that supports perseverance. Ariat boots undergo 150 steps to ensure performance. Boot Barn carries over 250,000 Ariat boots nationwide because out west, Tenacity is second to none. Period. At Boot Barn.
With Labor Day savings at the Home Depot, you can upgrade your home with up to $1,500 off select appliances from top brands like Whirlpool. Enhance your kitchen with quality and convenience from Whirlpool, like the freestanding electric range with built-in air fryer and the tall tub dishwasher with third rack, all available at the Home Depot. Right now, shop Labor Day savings up to $1,500 off select appliances at the Home Depot. How doers get more done. Pricing valid August 22nd through September 11th. U.S. only. See store online for details.
My name is Mary Grace. There are a few misconceptions about Alzheimer's. It's not just memory loss. It's the loss of mobility, the risk of falling.
For more information, contact the Alzheimer's Association at alz.org. Sponsored by the Alzheimer's Association.
KQFN Tempe. Also transmitting on K257CD Phoenix at 99.3 FM and K240EU Mountain Hills at 95.9 FM.
All right, people, settle down.
Because it's time.
Time for what?
No time.
When does it start?
Right now. 3, 2, 1.
Let's get on with the show.
Let's do it. All right, everybody, it's 4 o'clock here on the Daily Blender. Your good friend, radio pal, Jeffrey O'Brien, alongside not Randy White. He'll be with us tomorrow, but we got Keon Rose in the control room, and you guys are on the Fanatic text line, 888-368-1580, broadcasting live in the Harmon Solar Studios in Scottsdale. So I took a little moment there, got on my old Twitter thing here, and I saw this. Holy crap, 110 degrees out there today? 110 was the high. Now we've had 55 days of 110 degree temperatures, and we've had 101 days in a row of 100 degrees or higher. This is ridiculous. I'm going to get my old pal, Scene McLaughlin, on. And I want to find out from him, what did you do? What did you do, Scene? How did you, what the hell is, he's got some answering. He's got some answering to do. I'd say Randy has some answering to do, but, he's been doing other things, so I don't think it's Randy's fault. I'm going to blame Scene McLaughlin right now. Channel 3, Channel 5, whatever the hell it is, I blame Scene. In fact, we're going to get T-shirts made. I blame Scene.
I blame Scene.
And then have like a melted ice cream cone as the graphic underneath that. I blame Scene.
I put it up on the Twitters yesterday. The British are suffering a massive heat wave right now. And the heat wave is 26 degrees Celsius. And I had to look it up.
Mm-hmm.
That is 79 degrees Fahrenheit. The British are suffering at 79 degrees. We've had, what did you say, 101 days in a row of 100 degrees or more?
Mm-hmm.
If you were a British person and we just took you straight from London and dropped you downtown Phoenix, I have to think you'd just die on the spot.
But what happened to the term mad dogs and Englishmen in the midday sun? I thought they loved the heat.
I guess not. I guess the heat for them, though, isn't over 80 degrees.
That is bizarre. I mean, I've done shows at 79 degrees from the studios there when the damn air conditioning doesn't work.
Yeah.
Right. Wow. I'm sorry, but them Brits are kind of weak sauce, aren't they?
Kind of soft. Kind of soft.
Is it like really, really humid there?
It is humid.
Well, that might be it, because when the humidity is high, then that gets just miserable.
I don't think it's more humid than like Georgia in the summer is, though.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I just think that there are multiple U.S. cities that if you just took a British person, they simply couldn't make it.
Well, like I said, best thing that ever happened to us was, becoming America. Moiswin says those blokes don't have air conditioning. Yeah, but even 79 degrees is doable with a fan. I mean, I don't like it. Don't get me wrong. I was uncomfortable.
To save money, I have my air conditioning on to keep us from being, 100 degrees inside the house. But my air conditioning, during the day when I'm not home is about that. It's about 78 degrees.
Mm-hmm.
Then I get home and obviously that's got to go way down. I can't do that at night. I got to sleep.
The studio there is supposed to be kept at 78 degrees, and then we turn it down when I go in there. Problem is because the air conditioning ain't been working. You go, ooh, it's nice, chilly 77 now, and then it goes up to 80 by the time the show's over.
Yeah,
so
because the sun's just right here.
Besides, I'm tougher than a British person. I'm Irish.
That's true.
Big George says, hey, traffic advisory from traveling Big George, Loop 202, Santan Freeway westbound crash at Kyrene in Tempe. Exit Kyrene is blocked. So the backup to Loop 101, Price Freeway. Big George, that doesn't usually happen going westbound. I'll be honest. Usually it's everybody coming home eastbound. So if you're stuck in traffic, enjoy the show. 888-368-1580. Just another face in the crowd says, yeah, the humidity is atrocious in the UK right now. All right, well, that will make it miserable even further, but still 79, it's uncomfortable. But Beer Bob says, I don't know if it gets too humid. In England, have you ever seen a British man in shorts? I bet you do now.
if they're not, they're crazy.
Baker's Cocky Hen says everyone would go around blaming Sean's everywhere at the expense of Sean and it is ridiculous pronunciation. Yeah, it's Seen. His brother is Sean. He has a twin brother. It's Seen and Sean. And I think it might be spelled the same way. Yeah, I know. I've known this guy for 30 years. I have no idea what the hell's up with that. Maybe we could. I seriously want to get him on and ask him this. Call him.
Well, you know him.
You don't have his number?
No.
Oh. CK says Willow Murray is equivalent to current Russell Wilson. K1 can't lace prime Russ's shoes. And it pains me to say because he was a Seahawk at that time.
I don't know that that's true.
Hefty Lefty says, good thing they enjoy warm beer over there. Room temperature, not warm.
So if it's
you don't want a
79
warm
degrees
Guinness,
and
you want
humid,
a room temperature Guinness.
It's 79 degrees and very humid, and you don't have air conditioning in your house. Your room temperature beer is warm.
George, I don't need pictures of traffic. You don't need to send me pictures of traffic. Although this is kind of crazy. The accident is up on the exit ramp, and that's what's blocking all the damn freeway? I guess it would because it starts to back up and people not be able to get by. Yeah, but don't send me pictures of traffic. Niner Annapolis says, from okay, did I read this already? No, he says, from what I saw in preseason, Russell Wilson, Justin Fields both played very poorly behind a very poor offensive line. I feel you have to go with the higher upside, bigger arm, much more talented rusher that could actually make some plays with his legs. Justin Fields should be the starter. To steal some verbiage from an anonymous Broncos defender, Russell Wilson looks like a sack of potatoes out there. His days of making plays and scrambling are over.
I understand that. But I think if you're going to go with the upside of a Justin Fields, why not try to build him up for the future? Which means doing a lot of the things for him that the Bears never did. The Bears threw him out behind a very bad offensive line and just expected him to go out there and make things happen. How did that go for Justin? Did he improve? Did he become a better quarterback as a result of that? Why not work on him, during the offseason, behind the scenes? Let Russell Wilson be your quarterback of right now. And then if there's something there in Justin Fields, then you'll get him caught up to speed on all the things that he didn't actually learn in Chicago. The guy still hasn't been able to read a defense consistently. I don't care what you think about Russ. He can do that. He did it last year. He was okay. He wasn't great, but he did it.
George, I still don't want pictures of the accident. Please don't send pictures of accidents to me. He says, dude crashed into a tree. They're using the jaws of life to extract him. Yeah, but I still don't need.
And that's that guy's privacy. Like come on.
Well, the tree is blocking. I can't see.
Oh, okay. So I guess that there's that. But also, Big George, are you in your car driving?
Well, he's probably got his wife taking pictures.
Okay.
Or he's just stuck in traffic and can't move.
But either way, even if you're stuck in traffic, you should probably not have your phone out taking pictures.
Yeah, I don't want to see pictures of accidents. You can tell me it's happening, but I mean, unless it's something really funny, I don't want to see it. Hefty Lefty says, "Ooh, that beer is warm now." Yeah, but yeah, you're right. You're right. If it wasn't before, it sure is now. Well, I'm going there in a month. I'm going to England in a month, and I hope they cool that crap down before I get there, because that's one of the things I'm looking forward to is that rainy, chilly weather. If I go there and it's still hot, I'm going to feel very put out. and I'm going to make my my distaste known. I don't know where I go to do that. Who do I complain to?
That's a great question. I'm not sure.
From what I have been told, I'm going to be going on all sorts of tours. I'll tell everyone. I'll tell that guard with the horse that bites everybody. I'll tell the guys with the puffy hats. I'll tell everybody that will listen about how upset I am. I might get interviewed.
Go for it.
And then I'm going to tell them very, very clearly how dissatisfied I am with this. And I'm going to ask for a full refund. Hefty says, whereabouts in England are you going? Northern part, like Lake District or around London? A little London, a little bit of countryside stuff, going out to the real England, just a little bit of everything. I'm not going to list off places, but yeah, it's going to be a couple weeks that I'll be out there. CK says, George, that guy probably needs a lawyer. Just stick a card in his neck brace. I don't know. No, I don't think you're allowed to do that. I don't think you're allowed to sit there and try to flick cards in the window as they're using the jaws of life to try to take a guy out. Then what if you poked him in the eye? All right. So traffic is bad, but you know what I've noticed? If I drive in at 10 a.m., if I drive in at noon, if I drive in at 2, it's all the same now. Traffic is all the same. And I was like, man, I'm driving out somewhere at 2 in the morning. I'm like, this looks exactly the same volume of traffic than if I were driving during one of the rush hours. And it looks exactly the same volume of traffic on a Saturday afternoon as it does on a Tuesday afternoon. And I was just like, is it my imagination? Turns out it is not. A study found that rush hour is evolving. There is not as many cars on the road pre 9 a.m. anymore because traffic is getting more spaced out. But in a lot of cities, that means there's a mini rush hour all day long. And this is what I have noticed. No matter what time I drive, I feel like I'm in the same amount of traffic. Now it moves. That's the good news. It does move. And I know here in Phoenix, since we're a bigger community, you're 6 to 9 a.m. and you're 3 to 7 p.m. It's probably a little heavier. But in general, all day, every day, you're dealing with a rush hour. So this report found that midday rush hour is worse than ever. There's almost as many cars on the road before noon as at noon as there are at 9 a.m. or 5 p.m. And it's been the general trend since COVID hit and flexible hybrid schedules became a thing. So you'd think spreading out, right, would mean there'd never be a rush hour. But another report found public transportation never fully rebounded from the pandemic. So now there's just more cars on the road in general. So the rush hours are still rush hours. And then there's the midday rush hour. It's all day is a rush hour, but the rush hours still heavier. Traffic analysts behind the report said there's less of a morning commute, less of an evening commute, but a lot more afternoon activity now. And so you know what that means? We are the morning show.
Hey,
nah,
you get to be a morning show, but in the afternoon. Now that's a win right there.
God, I loved COVID. Oh man, I didn't have to leave the house. I don't have to wear pants. I didn't have to be around people. And then, I didn't have to go through traffic. And then COVID gave us this new traffic pattern. God bless you. God bless you,
my gosh.
bat in the market, if that's what happened. God bless you, Chinese agents, if that's what happened. Either way, thank you.
I'm speechless.
I mean, I know we lost about 1 million people.
We
You got to break some eggs? Maybe that's not the right term.
Not for this. I don't
okay.
think. I don't think.
Just silver lining.
Okay, that you could frame it that way. Yeah.
I had COVID. Took me forever to get COVID. I hid from COVID for good God knows how long. I'm still hiding from COVID.
Yeah, because you're still at home, which
Well,
safest
that's
place
just
for you
more
to be.
just convenience.
But then when you did get the COVID,
Yeah,
that brain fog was nasty there for a
it
little bit.
was. I don't remember it.
That exactly.
Here's the thing though. Once they said, these masks ain't keeping you from getting COVID. Oh, I stopped wearing them immediately. They were not comfortable. But if I had the COVID, I would wear a mask so nobody else would get it. That's what they said. So, but yes, I just for traffic, listen. And it's one of those things after COVID ended, I was like, I thought 1 million people died, but yet it's still so crowded out here.
Yeah.
Kind of hope that maybe driving would be easier.
Well,
post-COVID.
The thing is that, when people die, people go to, cities and things to try and be closer to different, jobs or healthcare.
Oh,
or
cut the crap,
whatever
Keon.
it is that they
We're
need.
making too many people.
It's not about a making thing. People have moved here since then to be closer to facilities that they need.
We need stricter borders.
Or to be cheaper than
And
California.
when I say we need stricter borders, I mean to keep other people from other states out. I'm not worried about the people from Mexico. I think we just keep Californians out.
That is a thing that comes up a lot. Yeah.
We're already pretty low in education in this state. We can't stand to get dumber with all the Californians coming here.
God.
Just another face in the crowd says, during COVID, I could go to Sky Harbor to Mesa Gateway in like 30 minutes flat.
Never again.
I wish we could get another like less fatal COVID, but we all have to,
I don't think that's going to work.
Quiet Cannon says, Jeffrey, be sure to get some fish and chips when you're over there across the pond. Yeah. I mean, I'm planning on doing all the cliches. Hefty Lefty says, very cool. Have a nice time. I know you don't like soccer. You are correct. And the actual proposal of going to a soccer game did come up, and I'm like, I'll pass. Don't need to go to that. No, I don't need to go to that. But he says, I bet you would enjoy the atmosphere of a live game over there. You'd at least appreciate the entire stadium singing songs at the refs when they got something wrong. My personal favorite when I went was, you're a stupid orange git. The referee is a twit.
European soccer, as far as the fans go, different animal. They are on something else.
Yeah, I'm not going to again.
Not saying you should. I'm just saying that would be the thing to go for if you did.
I'll find something else to do. I'll find out where all the I'll go to the neighborhood where all those Jason Statham movies were made, because those neighborhoods seem like a lot of fun. Get into a fight, start some stuff at a bar, a pub, whatever. Moist One says, where are we going for dinner tonight, Big George? Oh, Big George is heading out of town, so you just missed him. And George says, speaking of traffic, I see these signs saying that there's high pollution advisory today and people should carpool or use public transportation. By how busy these roads are, I don't think people got the message, or they did and ignored it.
Well, because people still have to go to work. They can put the advisory out if they want to, but if your boss is like, get in here, what are you going to do? And advisory, so I'm staying home?
Yeah.
It's a good way to lose your job.
Yeah. Yeah, the advisory is like for other people. Slave Dave says, Jeffrey, by comparison, it's still fairly light right now, even during rush hour compared to when the snowbirds actually hit. Right. George is just back behind an accident. So, but the rest of the freeways, I will say this, they seem to move along a little bit better. I know you guys are in it at this time of day, which is supposed to be the heaviest time of day. You feel like most days it moves along pretty good, or do you feel like there's still way too much stop and go? Let me know. Weso Grande says, I thought I was going to be able to drive on the white stripes because I'd have the road to myself. 4 a.m. going to work. No, just count all the flip birds as they sit by me at 90 miles an hour. Okay. Let's talk about football things when we come back. We're going to talk a little bit about this whole Disney versus DirecTV issue, but then we got nothing but football after that. It's the Daily Blender here on 1580, The Fanatic.
Ulta Beauty's 21 Days of Beauty event is back. From now until September 19th, score over 200 daily beauty steals at 50% off in every category. And check Ulta.com daily to get them all before they're gone. Take 50% off bestsellers from brands like Estee Lauder and Supergoop. Plus, Say hello to new finds from brands like Dyson and Sol de Janeiro. And Ilia is now at Ulta Beauty in select stores and online. Shop in-store at Ulta.com or try pickup today. Ulta Beauty, the possibilities are beautiful. Conditions apply while supplies last.
Hey, football fans, Michael Vick here. They say I transformed the quarterback position. The fastest ever, the strongest arm, the most rushing yards. They call me a game changer. I say BetUS.com changed the sports betting game. It started 30 years ago with the industry's biggest bonuses, and they haven't stopped. This football season, get a 125% sign-up bonus on your first 3 deposits. Join me at BetUS Online Sportsbook and Casino, BetUS, where the game begins.
With Labor Day savings at the Home Depot, you can upgrade your home with up to $1,500 off select appliances from top brands like Whirlpool. Enhance your kitchen with quality and convenience from Whirlpool, like the freestanding electric range with built-in air fryer and the tall tub dishwasher with third rack, all available at the Home Depot. Right now, shop Labor Day savings up to $1,500 off select appliances at the Home Depot. How doers get more done. Pricing valid August 22nd through September 11th. U.S. only. See store online for details.
Let's say you've got questions. You're looking into solar, but you don't know where to start. Well, Harman Solar has the answers. Hi, I'm Jeffrey O'Brien, and listen, there's a couple of ways you can go here. One, visit harmansolar.com, browse around, because right across the page, they got links to all sorts of great information, like frequently asked questions, equipment, tax credits, even testimonials. Or just give them a call, 800-281-3189. Ask them directly. They'd love to hear from you. That's 800-281-3189. Or just go to harmansolar.com.
Hi, I'm State School Superintendent Tom Horn. We need to improve students' proficiency in reading and math, which is my highest priority. I'm therefore providing $40 million for free one-on-one tutoring for all public and charter school students from first grade to high school, regardless of their proficiency level. And participating teachers earn money, which they deserve, for their work to improve students' learning. Sign up at azed.gov.
Sponsored by the Arizona Department of Education.
Ralph? Yeah, Neil. Why is that moving truck out front? And what are all these moving boxes doing here?
Haven't you heard? The Weekend Warriors are moving to Sundays at 8 a.m.
Yeah, we'll be the best pro football pregame show in the Valley.
I'll break down the Cardinals each week.
I guess I can break down the Cardinals' opponent each week. And we'll have a weekly segment with last-minute fantasy football advice from the king, Scott Engel. So what are you going to do, Ralph? I'm just going to be right all the time, like always. Whatever. It's the Weekend Warriors Football Sunday, starting in September at 8 a.m. on 1580, The Fanatic.
Blender here on 1580, The Fanatic. So they're going to go with that promo in. They're just going to keep playing the echoey promo. That's what they're doing.
That seems like the plan.
All right. 888-368-1580. 602 Pats fan says, hey, did you guys see Bill Belichick's on Instagram now? Yeah, I think he just got lonely. He said he tried to get on Snapface or whatever, but he couldn't find it, so he just got on the Instagram.
I don't think it's a loneliness thing. I think it's you're dating someone who probably only messages you on Instagram.
Yeah, that's good. You're right. I forgot he's dating an amoeba. I had no. Yeah, you're right. You're right. 602 Pats fan. You're right, Keon. Instagram. So thank God he's not on TikTok. Just for her. TikTok. Here comes Bill Belichick dancing, doing God knows what else.
Yeah.
What the hell are you doing with that cucumber there, Bill? I heard there's some cucumber challenge out there.
Have you?
I don't want to know what it is. No, I did. You know,
Okay.
it's a thing. There's some cucumber. I don't think it's what you. Moist One has had too much of an effect on you because I think you are thinking the wrong thing.
I just when you say there's a challenge, it's just like, what could be the challenge? Like, I don't understand what the challenge could be.
Well, here's the thing. I was reading today, as I do, about a president, and it eludes me right now. The president, who he was, but there was this president who was literally addicted to cucumbers.
Wow.
I bleep you not. That is a real thing. And Benjamin Harrison, 23rd president. And when he was in college, his family wrote a letter saying, "Oh, dearest Benjamin, please lay off the cucumbers." They're like going to put him in like rehab because he was just crazy about the cucumbers.
Look, if of all the things to be addicted to, if it's cucumbers, what's the problem there? Like, how could you be so addicted to cucumbers that it's ruining your life?
Maybe the way he was ingesting them. I don't know, but
I don't know either.
But see, here's the problem. TikTok has got this cucumber thing, and now there's shortages in Iceland, and that's blamed on this TikTok thing. So farmers can't keep up demand because TikTokers are sharing super simple, easy to follow, and fast recipes. Oh, so it's just about people are just eating the hell out of cucumbers because of idiots on TikTok showing them easy recipes.
Well, that's not too bad. I mean,
at least sound unhealthy.
Yeah. Cucumbers have like no calories. I mean, I don't know.
Well, that's less of a TikTok thing than I thought it was.
No,
anyways, my point
TikTok's
is
all that stuff now.
You don't want to see him doing TikToks about cucumbers or dancing or anything. I don't know. There's a certain age where it's like, Bill, you should just be on Facebook. My mom is on Facebook.
Yeah.
You guys are about the same. Last Optimist says, saw an interview with the NFL Director of Player Safety last week. He said there are 2 new helmets being released for players to use, which are safer than the existing helmets, combined with the Guardian caps. If players adopt the new helmets, they do not have to wear the Guardian hats. Well, I don't think they've said anybody needs to, has to, but are these new helmets as effective as the Guardian caps? I think you should be allowed to wear the Guardian cap regardless of which helmet if you feel it necessary. But what do I know? Elzar of the Mountain says, I'm on the Rio Salado because 202 East is impassable.
Oh, if there are any people on 202 heading east at any point in the day, it's either completely empty or it is backed up, and those are the only 2 options. There's no middle.
Yeah, traffic's a mess today.
Yeah.
Be careful out there, everybody. Swave Dave says a lot of people aren't being butthead or rubberneckers. Traffic should at least flow. Yeah, that's true. There's a lot of times when there's an accident. If everybody would just drive safely by it without slowing down the stare at somebody else's misfortune, wouldn't have these problems.
Yeah, that's why I was poking at Big George a little bit.
Don't be a ghoul.
Just keep moving. Just keep moving.
Yeah, I know George, though. He's not one of those people. Either he had his wife take the picture or he was dead stop. There's nothing you can do about that. Moisman says, all this traffic talk, I just want to take this time to let people know that I'm not fazed by a heavy flow.
We know.
Traffic, right?
I wish you didn't say it out loud, but
traffic, right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Last Optimist says, he said the new helmets were more effective at reducing concussions than the Guardian caps. Well, that's great. If they're telling the truth, they may be lying just to get people to wear the regular helmets with the logos. I hope they're not lying. As Will Smith says, tell the truth.
That's true. And it's the NFL. They have a history when it comes to being dishonest about the safety of various equipment, levels and numbers of practices, just the concept of brain trauma itself. The NFL has been less than honest in the history of all of that.
They will not tell the truth. Swazman says, Jeffrey, my opinion is young people cause the most problems out there. So now they're mostly back in school. 16 to 23-year-olds are on the roads and off the roads, and the roads are much better. Traffic flow is better without the aggressive driving so much. Okay.
I personally have not noticed a difference between school time and not school time in my daily commute. It just genuinely sucks every time.
It is an interesting theory. Choro says, who's still running DirecTV? Got to move to YouTube TV already. I was thinking about that today. I moved to YouTube TV, just so I could get the Sunday ticket. And now I'm just kind of like, I don't know if I'm going to get Sunday ticket. So I'm like, why would I still be on YouTube TV?
That's a great question.
I'm paying money for that,
Like, unless you use the YouTube TV a lot beyond Sunday ticket, then
I think my wife watches that more than I do. There's some shows that she watches when I'm not around.
Is she using it a lot? Because if she's using it a lot, then it's still worth it.
Daily.
Okay.
So yeah, I think so.
So maybe just keep it.
But DirecTV is fighting with Disney, and in fact, DirecTV vows to fight Disney as long as it needs to. That is the word. And DirecTV is just putting the blame squarely on Disney, and they're like, "Yeah, this isn't the kind of dispute where we're haggling over percentage points on rate. It's about changing the model in a way that gives everyone confidence that this industry can survive." And he says you got to give Disney credit, and they're not trying to hide their intentions. He says not only at their public statements, but also, frankly, their performance, Disney has publicly indicated that they intend to exploit the pocketbooks of our customers and other pay TV customers to fund and support their DTC apps while they shift the investment into the content and quality of the content away from the linear channels. Okay. He also made a snide comment about sports fans not wanting to watch cartoons and children not wanting to watch, rock skipping competitions on ESPN 2 or 3. I don't think I've ever seen a rock skipping. I might watch that.
They've had that on before. ESPN.
The Ocho.
Yeah. I mean, ESPN in the summertime is a wild place.
So now ESPN is saying, hey, Disney's not being inflexible in these talks with DirecTV. They're saying that they've been incredibly flexible. In fact, we've offered them several flexible packages for their customers, starting with sports and broadcast. So Disney's like, who, me? I bet they're both dirtbags on this.
Yeah, I think that there's probably a little bit of truth going both ways. I think that DirecTV probably, does feel like Disney is trying to set themselves up to ultimately just fund their apps and fund their website and get people away ultimately from DirecTV. But I also think that Disney's not. I mean, Disney has never been known to play fair, so I have trouble believing that Disney's just been completely straight up. No, they're both giant corporations. They are not good.
Good news is, first game, are you sons of dirty, motherless? Boy, that was a mistake. I should have not looked at the schedule. First, I was going to say, good news, the first game on NBC and on Peacock. Second game, only on Peacock. Guess what? I ain't watching it. I'm not paying.
I mean,
it's not a playoff game.
Yeah, it's a regular season game, and I'm not going to lie to you. I will be watching it, but I won't be watching it on Peacock. There'll be a website involved.
You know what? That's fine. You know why? Because it's Friday night. I don't have to talk about it on Saturday.
So if you don't see it, they put the highlights on YouTube.
Yeah.
You just go back and watch them.
Up yours, Peacock. I ain't doing that. Oh, my God. That makes me upset. Monday Night Football is going to be on Channel 15, I do believe. Yes, it will be, as well as on the ESPN and on the ESPN Plus. And then the Manning Cast will save us over on ESPN 2. But the rest of it, regular TV, if it is on in your area. Boy, this Peacock thing pisses me off. I don't want to get that. I did that at the last season for a playoff game because it was a good one.
I think it was the Dolphins Chiefs one.
Yeah. And so I paid $5 and then immediately canceled it. But yeah, that's all fine and good until Peacock then says $10 a month. And I got paid $10 for this game?
Oh, boy.
There's a point where
it's
dumb.
I wouldn't mind watching a football game on Peacock, but I would have to have Peacock for a bunch of other things, other shows I want to watch. And then if football happens to be on, I'll watch it. But I'm not paying for it just for the football. That's crazy.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So Boogie says, I am a champion rock skipper. Well, I'd watch you on TV do that.
It's pretty fun.
Honestly,
I mean, they get that thing to skip like 30, 40 times. It's crazy.
You get some of the graphics in there, like they have in the NFL, like the marks the lines and stuff. I'd watch that for a minute.
And it's always some 65-year-old guy that you could tell that that's just what he's been doing for the last 20 years. This is his hobby.
I'm like telling you right now, I'm just in the wrist. It's just in the wrist while you overcomplicate this. Baker's Cocky Hen says Roof Ball on ESPN was pretty epic. I mean, I really think I could win having grown up an only child and having a lot of roof ball experience. What's roof ball?
I don't know what roof ball is.
I thought that was what Bill Cosby would put in people's drinks to, you can put a little roof ball. Okay. Now I've had to Google it, but all it is a bunch of damn videos. Players toss a football onto a roof with various targets and moves to acquire points. Oh, they made this up in Oregon. Bunch of stoners. Well, that explains it. Fifth letter says, not to mention movies and TV shows already on there. I use it for the live TV 80% of the time, the YouTube TV. Best move I ever made last year, $65 a month, and I use it every day. Majority of channels are same as Dish or DirecTV, all live TV. Plus, I need my NFL ticket. Just win, baby. Got to get with Ralph on the, so if we have a student, got to get with him on getting that done. I'm running out of time. Feel like my wife is going to look at me as less of a man if I don't have Sunday ticket now.
No.
We've always had it. And this year I'm like, I don't know, honey. And she kind of looked at me like, what?
Like she couldn't believe it was you saying it.
Yeah. So it's like she doesn't care if I am out of shape. She doesn't care about my car, my body, my looks. If I don't have that Sunday ticket.
Who are you and who did you replace my husband with is what she's probably.
I don't know if I can keep her away from other people that do have Sunday tickets, so I got to get it.
Oh,
Rough Rob says, hey, Keon, I'm going to need that illegal website. Drop it in Blender League thread, please.
Are we in the same league?
I don't know, but just do as he says.
Yeah, I'm just asking because if we're not,
you and I are. So just do as he says. Ringless Joe says, all right, predictions for all 16 games? No. We're probably going to do like 8 tomorrow, maybe 9. We're going to do all of them. We only have an hour. Here's the way it works, man. 3:00 tomorrow, we will start it up. And if we go through all these games before the hour's over, then we'll start to pepper in some other games too that we think might be of interest. But do you really want to hear us talk about the bad games?
Break down Bears Titans?
Yeah, didn't it just they're just
the Bears might be fun. The Titans won't be.
So
there's a breakdown.
Not going to have predictions on air for all 16. We never do. We always run out of time. But, we are doing some of our picks. So Swazman says, well, that's a great idea for a new Olympic sport. Instead of breakdancing, Brock's giving almost like javelin or shot put. It would be super cool. I don't know what he's saying. Who's Brock?
Unclear. I'm unclear on that.
Capitalized like a name. Silly Rabbit says there's always a free pickleball channel on Roku. I will never have Roku now knowing that exists. I will not allow it in my house.
Oh, man.
T-Licious says 4 years ago after lockdown, I went to Zips to watch KBO since it was the only thing on. But before it started, ESPN had marble racing on. Yeah, I could watch that.
I mean,
for a minute.
During COVID, they aired horse. Virtual at home horse. Yeah. Like that.
That was horrible. Was it good? The concept, I was just like, no,
it was not good. I mean, I watched it. It was something on my screen, but I didn't feel good for having done that.
Mm-hmm.
No.
Fifth letter says, Jeffrey, if it helps, you can pay the Sunday ticket by breaking it down into 3 payments so it doesn't hurt as bad. Yeah, I know. I'm going to use the college student discount thing, though. Prison Wallet says, Jeffrey, why are you not negotiating with Radio Ron for him to pay the NFL Sunday on the next contract? Well, I've met Radio Ron.
The answer is no.
Yeah, it's just going to be no.
Just the answer is no.
Some questions I already know the answers to.
Yeah.
Moison says, I feel the same, Keon. That poor girl I had no chance with the horse. What? Moving on. Ringless Joe says, Titans are going to be much better than people think. They're going to be the most slept on team right now. Will Levis has proven he belongs in the NFL. Every team needs a backup.
I think Will Levis has shown enough that I would like to see how he grows. And I do think the Titans will be better than a lot of people expect. I still think they're going to be bad, though. Like they're
Ringless
just...
Joe. Wasn't Will Levis the one who ate the banana without peeling it?
I think so.
Wasn't that him?
He's a weird guy. He's an odd person.
We'll see, Ringless Joe. And by the way, I want the Tennessee Titans to suck because you're in my division. So take that, Ringless Joe.
Isn't Ringless Joe a Lions fan, or am I?
Well, I'm just assuming because there's this like the second thing he's had to say about the Tennessee Titans. He's talking about how the Titans were going to slap the Chicago Bears yesterday. So,
slap them. Okay, I don't see that happening.
Ref Rob says Keon's for the people. Really love your weekend show. Go ahead and share the website. I want him to share it with me and everybody.
Yeah, I will,
but mostly me.
Well, you're in the Premier League, so I'll go ahead.
Moist one says Will Levis is the guy who puts mayo in his coffee.
Yeah, it's what is his problem, man? I don't get what Will Levis's deal is, but I do think that like he showed some potential at quarterback. So there's that.
If you put like Miracle Whip in his coffee, we'd have him deported.
Why?
And I don't even know where too, because he was born here. I think that'd be worse.
Just anywhere else.
Mayonnaise bad. Miracle Whip worse. Although I don't mind Miracle Whip on a sandwich. It just makes even less sense in coffee.
All of it makes less sense in coffee. Mayo doesn't make any sense in coffee either.
Yeah, we should. You know what? Let's just deport Will Levis now.
Yeah, I mean to Antarctica because like that's not a country, so you're not bothering anybody.
It's a good idea. Yeah, and then what is he going to do? You can like freeze the mayonnaise and just kind of
chew on it a little bit,
gnaw on it a little. Put a stick in it.
Try not to attract any polar bears. You'll be all right.
No, that's always good advice. That is always good advice.
That is polar bears are.
That's why I'm here.
Which pole are the polar bears in?
This is why I'm here in Arizona. Just to not attract polar bears. So, all right, let's take a break. We'll come back and we'll stop talking TV. We'll talk football. It's the Daily Blender here on 1580, The Fanatic.
It's fall football on The Fanatic. Catch all the live game play-by-play, Monday night, Thursday night, and Sunday day and night NFL games, plus the Saturday NCAA football game of the week. It's all right here on the Valley's home for football. 1580 and 99.3 The Fanatic, brought to you by Bet365. Whatever the moment, it's never ordinary at Bet365.
Prescriptions require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if appropriate. Restrictions apply. See website for details and important safety information. Subscription required. Price varies based on product and subscription plan.
Hey guys, did you know there's a generic form of Viagra that works just the same, but is 95% cheaper? And you can get it online? Go to hims.com/joy. Through Hims, you'll get a free medical consultation, discreet shipping if prescribed, and the process is 100% online. To start your free online visit, go to hims.com/joy. That's HIMS.com/JOY.
Hey everybody, it's Mark Asher back to tell you about my great friends at the Lund Mortgage Team. Did you know that the Lund Mortgage Team was founded back in 1999? That's right. They're celebrating 25 years in existence this year. And you know what you have to do to stay in business that long? You have to be good at what you do. And the Lund Mortgage Team is not just good, they are great. They have helped thousands of people save thousands of dollars over those 25 years here in the Valley of the Sun. They only lend in Arizona. And they're mortgage brokers, which means they can shop your rate around. They're not tied to just one set of rates. Mortgage rates can get crazy. They can get high. They can get low. There's good times to strike and there's times to stay on the sideline. Let the Lund Mortgage Team be your coach, be your team leader when it comes to these huge decisions. Call 623-875-9940. That's 623-875-9940, or you can always check them out at lundmortgage.com. Great website with all the tools you need. Call them today. They're my great friends, and you'll love them. It's the Lund Mortgage Team.
With Labor Day savings at the Home Depot, you can upgrade your home with up to $1,500 off select appliances from top brands like Whirlpool. Enhance your kitchen with quality and convenience from Whirlpool, like the freestanding electric range with built-in air fryer and the tall tub dishwasher with third rack, all available at the Home Depot. Right now, shop Labor Day savings up to $1,500 off select appliances at the Home Depot. How doers get more done. Pricing valid August 22nd through September 11th. U.S. only. See store online for details.
My name is Mary Grace. There are a few misconceptions about Alzheimer's. It's not just memory loss. It's the loss of mobility, the risk of falling.
For more information, contact the Alzheimer's Association at alz.org. Sponsored by the Alzheimer's Association.
If it's local, we talk about it. 1580 and 99.3. The Fanatic.
It's Dave Blender here on 1580 The Fanatic. All right, so I know that Keon likes to spend his 2 to 3 p.m.s with Beat the Book with Dylan Cohen, talking gambling and stuff. And I'll tell you what, this gambling thing, if you're wondering, well, why was the NFL against it? And then all of a sudden they're for it. Well, because now legal gambling on NFL games, they're saying, is probably going to reach $35 billion this season. Guess who gets a cut? A 30% increase over last season, and more states are legalizing gambling. And so I think, how many states can you do this in? Like most of them, right? Like 38, 39 states. Yeah, but there's so many places where you can bet now. It's just becoming the norm. And, a lot of people do this online, and you have to still live in the state, but I wonder, people maybe using VPNs or something. I don't know how it works. But a lot of people are gambling. If you want to gamble, you're gambling. And but the NFL alone, $35 billion. Man.
Yeah. By the way, 48 states allow
48
some form of gambling. So
but 38 you can use stuff to bet on the NFL.
Yeah. And then like Hawaii and Utah have nothing. So
the Mormons, I understand.
Yeah. I do think that when it comes to the NFL too, it's not just that they get a cut because they have partnerships with all of these companies, but also because you bet on games, you watch games. It drives people to watch the NFL, to watch the highlights, to see how their bets went, which means you're watching games. If the NFL has a bad Thursday night matchup, you might still be watching a game. Mm-hmm. In the same way that you do for fantasy football reasons, for gambling reasons.
And let me encourage you to use BetUS for those purposes. Okay. Cash bonuses, sign-up bonuses, crypto bonuses, go to betus.com.
That's smooth, man.
Thank you. All right, so moving on, Patrick Mahomes was asked a question, and he answered it. He was being interviewed, but I'm not sure everybody would agree. He says, if you got a three-peat, what would that mean if the Chiefs got a three-peat? He says it'd be iconic, and it'd be something that would solidify us as one of the best teams of all time. Do we agree?
I agree, because
it's hard to argue.
Three-peats never happened.
Have we seen? I think we've seen more talented teams. With a bunch of guys on there, you're like, that's a stacked team, and they didn't three-peat. So the special sauce, is it the coaching of Andy Reid? Is it just the creativity of Patrick Mahomes? We're not really shouting out names of wide receivers when it comes to the Chiefs, but there's Travis Kelce. But then there's good guys on the team, good wide receivers, good running backs, not stars, not always stars, but solid. Bring your lunchbox kind of guys.
Yeah. And I think when you add all of that to a quarterback that elevates things, and to a coach whose offense fits that quarterback, and quite frankly, like last year, that was a really good defensive Chiefs team. Like, we kept looking at them in these games and going, that doesn't really look like the Chiefs. But the reason why they won some of those games where it didn't even feel like they were playing well was because their offense was playing or their defense rather was playing at such a high level that, if they can do that again, they have a great shot at the three-peat. And I think that they'll put themselves in that position to be in the Super Bowl and be there.
So, they said, well, does three-peating, cement your GOAT status? Well, there he was much more humble in his answer, saying, I don't know if it does in a sense, but it definitely makes us the best team of all time to have the best run. He says, I think I'm more worried about that. He says, the end of my career is when I'll be able to decide or be able to make a decision for myself if I can become the GOAT. But it's going to be hard. Tom Brady had like 3 Hall of Fame careers. So it's going to be a long run. I got to keep the consistency going. That's a fair answer.
Yeah.
That is a fair answer.
And I think he's well on his way. But, we've seen it. We haven't seen too many guys have 20-year runs like Tom Brady, where the first 10 years could have gotten you in the Hall of Fame by itself. And then the last 10 years could have also gotten you in the Hall of Fame by itself. And he had both.
Massive rule changes in different eras just kind of remove the whole idea of GOAT. It can't be the greatest of all time. It should be the greatest of an era, but that's a gooey. You're the gooey. You're not a GOAT.
It's not as catchy.
So how about greatest of a time? It's still a GOAT. You're the greatest of a time.
Of a time. I like that better. And because when you start comparing across eras, there were times in the league when the defenses were tougher, physically. They could hit you harder. They could hit you in ways that we now know are just bad for a human being to be hit. So we've outlawed it. And guys won through that. Like Tom Brady and his 7 Super Bowls stack up, I think, still against like the 49er teams of the 80s and stuff, because you get 4 Super Bowls, but you're playing in an era when defenses had way more power. Like that, you have to take the eras into account.
Right. So greatest of a time, Tom Brady for sure. Now Patrick Mahomes. T-Licious, of course, getting salty, says, and having officiating crews that don't call holding penalties ever, well, that helps too. Doesn't hurt, but then Tom Brady having a cheating coach and a cheater himself, that didn't hurt. So there's always going to be complaints.
There's a whole tuck rule, and you know what? Like nothing's perfect. Like you're gonna have to get some calls go your way. You do. There's no getting around that. If you don't have a few of them bounce your favor, you're not winning multiple Super Bowls.
Ringless Joe says Aaron Rodgers was the greatest Jets quarterback of a time. That time being 1 minute.
Was it 5 plays?
45 seconds, I think, is really what it was. T-Licious says Mahomes is the greatest Muppet. The GMAT. So he's the greatest Gmut.
Why is he the greatest Muppet? Is it the voice?
It's the voice.
Because Andrew Luck at that point, to me, is the greatest Muppet. If we're just
Patrick Mahomes has more of a Kermit voice than Andrew Luck did.
I don't know, man. Andrew Luck, maybe not Kermit, but Andrew Luck was like a Cookie Monster type.
Yeah, I'll give you that.
Yeah,
I can give you that. Move aside, Mahomes, says Ringless Joe. It's the Goff year. Oh my God. Really? I mean, okay. Maybe
he's on a team that's going to obviously give him every opportunity to look good. And so far, Jared Goff as a Detroit Lion has taken advantage of all those opportunities. So I don't see why he wouldn't. Is he going to outplay Mahomes? I'm not making that jump, man. I don't think I can do that.
It's a Goff year is too close to it's an off year.
Yeah, that's the thing.
So you might well go Jared year. Then we think about the guy who worked at Subway, is in prison now for some horrific crap.
Maybe the jewelry store, if you want to go.
Just go Lions year. It's a Lions year.
Yeah.
Boy, did he ruin the name Jared for everybody?
For many people.
Yeah.
For many people, I'm sure.
Hey, congratulations for your Commanders. How do you say his name? Sam Cosmi?
Yeah, Sam Cosmi.
Yeah, 4-year extension. He was a pivotal piece to your team. And, now he's locked in.
Yeah, and he's a key part of the offensive line. Offensive line still needs some work, but he's one of the better parts of it, and they had to do that, I think. And he's shown how good he can be, and he's one of the handful of Ron Rivera guys that this current regime actually likes, and they haven't cut or traded away. So yeah, that's good. Good news. Glad to hear it.
Okay, well, here's your bad news.
Yeah, I know.
I'll be honest. That was pretty dirty pool recording him with the little phone video thing. Have you seen that?
I did. Yeah.
I guess O'Keefe Media is who took a person took the video pretending to be his friend. So putting it behind a company doesn't make it any less icky. But he did say some things. You're talking about players who are homophobic, and some of them are dumb as hell. He also said that the fans were high school educated alcoholics and mouth breathers. And that's, not great, but he was on a date. He thought he was on a date just talking to a gal. So it wasn't like he was talking to people or sitting there on a podcast, but they have suspended this guy. He's the vice president of content. I liked his content. I'm not going to lie to you. It was funny. But, so this is interesting. Should he get fired for this when he's just thinking he's on a date and he's just kind of blowing off some steam talking to a gal? Are you always on the clock?
That's the thing. And who hasn't gone home from work, gone to their wife, their girlfriend, whatever, and complained about work? You may even like your job, but there are just going to be parts of it or days in it you didn't have a great day. And so you're there, you think you're talking to somebody you can trust, and then you say a bunch of things that you think are in confidence. Crappy things, sure, but things that you thought were in confidence and that would never see the light of day. And then here is somebody putting that out there. I do think that they've got to fire him, though, not because of how that got put out there, but because of what was said, and just as far as your organization having that connection.
Does it get worse? Did he say worse things?
He said,
didn't the players being homophobic, some of them dumb as hell? Did he say worse than the fans were high school educated alcoholics and mouth breathers?
Yeah, he said some stuff about players, even the smart ones, they get concussed, and that they become very stupid. The players being homophobic, he attributed to them being black, which that's not good.
Okay, so now I did not see that part.
Yeah.
Okay, he's got to go.
Yeah. He also went after Jerry Jones quite a lot, which just in the NFL is probably not a good idea.
Yeah. He'll never work in this town again, I guess.
Yeah. Yeah, I think he's done.
Yeah, see, the stuff you just said there did not show up in the story I was reading.
Really?
Huh.
Yeah, no, that last part was, when I got to that point, I was like, oh no, this is all bad.
Yeah, so much for that. All right, more football on the way next. It's the Daily Blender.
Breaking news coming in from Bet365, where every nail-biting overtime win, breakaway, pick six, three-point shot, underdog win, buzzer beater, shootout, walk-off, and absolutely every play in between is amazing. From football to basketball and hockey to baseball, whatever the moment, it's never ordinary at Bet365. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-NEXT-STEP. 21 plus only. Must be physically located in Arizona.
Mom, meet Sarah.
From first time Nana moments.
And welcome to Flight 101.
To annual girls trip moments. Your can't miss moments are worth protecting against RSV. If you're 75 or older or 60 plus with a chronic condition like asthma, COPD, heart disease, or severe diabetes, you're at higher risk of landing in the hospital from RSV. And there are no prescription RSV treatments. Check eligibility and schedule your RSV vaccine at vaxassist.com.
So where should we go next?
Sponsored by Pfizer.
Total Wireless is made to totally keep up with you. We now have unlimited data that never slows you down, covered by the Verizon 5G network, and all for less than $30 a month when you get 4 lines. And the best part, we give you a free Samsung Galaxy A54 5G when you switch to the Total 5G Plus Unlimited plan. Visit your local Total Wireless store today. Total Wireless, we're totally with you. Actual speeds may vary by location. For data management practices, see TotalWireless.com.
I'm Angela Gonzalez reporting from Phoenix. We're talking with the community about Phoenix Police Department. Ma'am, what do you think?
Oh, I love them. They're our local heroes. We've had some problems around here with break-ins and people using drugs on the streets. The police work with our community to have a presence in our neighborhood and keep our streets safe.
Thank you, Phoenix Police.
Gracias a la Policía de Phoenix.
Thank you, Phoenix Police.
Rise to serve. Find more today at joinphxpd.com. Protect and serve with the elite.
Sponsored by the City of Phoenix.
Is reviewing life insurance on your to-do list? Now's the perfect time to add it. A friend recently told me that securing life insurance sooner rather than later can help you lock in lower rates for years to come. So I bumped this up on my list and got it done. I called SelectQuote and couldn't believe how easy and affordable life insurance is. I'm 40 and got a $500,000 policy for $16 a month. My husband's also 40, and his $500,000 policy was only $18 a month. Plus, with SelectQuote's same-day coverage, there was no medical exam required, and we were covered by the time we hung up. Knowing I have this checked off my list feels amazing, but the peace of mind knowing my family is protected feels even better.
Call SelectQuote at 1-800-694-1010. That's 1-800-694-1010. Or go to SelectQuote.com to get your free quote today. 1-800-694-1010. Details on example rate at SelectQuote.com.
KQFN Tempe. Also transmitting on K257CD Phoenix at 99.3 FM and K240 EU Mountain Hills at 95.9 FM.
It's time for the third hour.
Quiet, people, settle down.
Because it's time. Time for what?
Showtime.
When does it start?
Right now. 3, 2, 1.
Let's get on with the show. Let's do it.
All right, everybody, it's 5 o'clock here on the Daily Blender. I'm your good friend, your radio pal, Jeffrey O'Brien, not alongside Randy White. He'll be back with us tomorrow, but we got Keon Rose in the control room. Got you guys on the Fanatic text line, 888-368-1580, as we broadcast live in the Harmon Solar Studios in Scottsdale. And I just found out I almost died.
What happened?
Took you a second for that to really hit the gray matter there, didn't it? The fact I almost died.
I was just pulling something up on the computer there. No, what happened? How did you almost die?
So I'm here doing the show, and the dogs, I let them go downstairs when the little girl gets home, right? And they go downstairs. And so, of course, she says, hi, little doggies. And then she goes off and starts doing her homework in her room. And the dogs are downstairs. And my wife comes home a little bit ago. She comes in, she's like, oh my God. I'm like, what? She said, did you know the gas was on the stove? I'm like, what? She's like, yeah. I was like, you left the gas on. I'm like, I never used the stove. I didn't even go near the stove. And she says, well, the little girl didn't. So they went straight up to their rooms. And I'm like, oh my God. Bebo, we caught him right in front of us, getting up on the counter to try to see if there's some food and stuff up there. So I hypothesized that he jumped up on the stove thing and his paw turned the gas on high with no flame.
Oh boy.
It's a good thing she came home when she did, because I'd have been sitting here, fart jokes. Oh, no. That'd be a weird way to go.
I'm glad you're okay. I
never smelled it up here, so it couldn't have been on for too long. But man, if she hadn't come home and this had happened, and eventually, kaboom! My dog is trying to kill me.
Apparently. Come on, buddy. Come on.
No,
you gotta be better.
No. It's not Buddy. It's Bebo.
Oh, it's Bebo.
Buddy is chill as hell.
That's true. That doesn't even sound like him.
No, it's Bebo. And like we were sitting there having a conversation, and Bebo right in front of us jumped up like he was trying to look in the counter. He's like, hey, got anything up here? Like, dude, what the hell? Get down. What do you think you are? So now we've talked about it. Now we're going to have to try to, we've blocked off so many areas. He starts chewing on one of the bottom stairs, chewed all the carpet off of like one of the bottom stairs. And he's like, oh, well, okay, we got to block all that off. And then sometimes we're not right. Like, well, little paw prints all over the leather recliners in the living room. We got to block all that off. Then he likes to go into other rooms and get in trouble. Block. I've got so many of those little fences. It's just a lot of blocking off.
Yeah.
Because I don't feel like leaving them in a crate all the time. Feels mean.
It does feel a little mean.
My house is turned into a crate. There's a
So rather than put him in the crate, you just put your whole family in the crate.
Yeah, I'm in a crate.
Yeah.
When I go in the living room, I'm in a crate. Now when I go in the kitchen, I'm in a crate. Anyway, so yeah, Bebo almost killed all of us. Can you imagine that?
Wow.
Turn the gas on high. Just
to have your puppy take you out. That's got to be. That's up there.
That's an interesting conversation in the afterlife. So what happened? Well, this is what happened. They show you a replay on like a little. Come on, send me back. That can't be.
So you should get a second chance if that's how you go out.
You're gonna need a do-over on this
one. You should get to try again.
CK says obedience trainer will serve you well, Jeffrey. Yeah, I know. I was just talking to the wife the other day about sending Bebo to obedience school. I'd send them both, just to be fair. I mean, Buddy's pretty chill, but yeah, he sometimes doesn't listen too, to be fair. Swave Dave, I think he's still upset about something in the last hour. He says, I protest. People in glass houses should not throw stones. Who amongst us has never breathed through their mouth? Are we all not mouth breathers? He says, are we all not mel breathers? But I'm pretty sure he meant to say mouth breathers.
I assume he meant mouth breathers. We're going to give you the benefit of the doubt and say you said mouth breathers.
If I'm congested, I'm a mouth breather. You got to breathe.
Yeah, and if your nose is blocked up, that's the only other passage that air's going through. So
you've been blowing your nose, but you shouldn't be doing that all the time. I think that's about people who do it all the time.
Yeah.
And even then, I'm not sticking up for the guy. Turns out he said some things that were not funny.
Yeah. And he was saying stuff that, like, Jerry Jones thinks, but he was using certain slurs about gay people, and he was speaking as though he were Jerry Jones, but he used the actual words.
Oh.
So, yeah.
They got to fire him.
They got to fire him. It's an open and shut case. They suspended him, and I do think that they're just going to go through a process just because that's how you do it. But that guy's done. He's not coming back.
What is that about? As people to get in trouble, then they're suspended, and then they get fired. Why can't they just skip the suspension and say, "Oh my God, you're fired"?
I mean, basically, they're going to do an investigation. The investigation will be watching that video, and then they'll fire him. It's just a due diligence thing.
Yeah, okay. I do diligence this way. You're fired. All done.
Yeah.
So I guess we're just going to talk about the football now. You gave you your good news and your bad news. Of course, my bad news is Josh Downs not being in practice for the Colts. Got an ankle injury. He injured that in training camp, but that was like a month ago. So this must not have been. This must have been worse than we thought.
Or you rehab it, and sometimes there's a setback. Like you tweak it during the process of trying to rehab it, and then you end up having to start over essentially.
Yeah. So he's not probably going to play, and my gay kicker is not going to play. I'm sorry, Matt Gay, our kicker, is not going to play because he had a hernia surgery. So he's probably not going to play. So they got to get a guy off the practice squad to kick. So that's not great.
Yeah, but Josh Downs is your wide receiver 3. So
I know, but
it doesn't help. And you've got a quarterback who's young, so yeah, you need all the help you can get. But you still got Alec Pierce out there. You still got Michael Pittman Jr. You're okay.
Beer Bob says, sounds like Bebo's not collecting the bounty your wife put on to take you out. Does sound very mysterious that it happened when nobody else was home, but just you, Jeffrey. You better careful and watch out. Oh no, the kids were here. So
you saved his life twice, and this is how he repays you.
He's trying to kill me. Trying to kill all of us. Fantasy football wise, I think that there's some people not happy that Kyle Pitts was limited with some hamstring tightness and soreness in practice the other day. So he never missed a game, but hamstrings are tricky things, man.
Yeah, and it's going to be a nagging injury, basically.
I feel like he's always been naggingly injured.
Yeah, and the thing is, once you hurt your hamstring, you're very susceptible to hurt it again. So any serious hamstring injury, that's pretty much going to be your career. You'll be nagged by it.
Mm-hmm.
Just kind of getting around it.
So keep that in mind and keep an eye on it. Kyle Pitts, he's hobbled. And Hollywood Brown also hobbled enough to where he's been officially ruled out for tomorrow's game. But everybody else on the Chiefs is good. But Hollywood Brown. So that doesn't, I don't want to argue with Mr. the King of fantasy football, but I have Juju Smith-Schuster. And Hollywood Brown not playing, we thought that was a chance for that. It's not a surprise. I mean, I'm not going to play him, but I'm keeping an eye on him.
Yeah.
Juju Smith-Schuster.
The door is open for him a little bit.
And, listen, some players bad on one team, good on another. Who knows where Juju Smith-Schuster is right now with that?
And Juju was a better Chief than he was a Patriot. So
and the Chiefs aren't that dumb. So they wouldn't have bringing him in if he didn't have the ability. So it'll be interesting. We will see what happens. But Hollywood Brown will not play. Jamar Chase, I think he'll play. He returned to practice. I don't know. I mean, they're still arguing, right?
They're still arguing, but I assume he's going to play because this was basically the last big practice that they're going to do. I think they'll, tomorrow teams tend to do like walkthroughs Thursday, no hitting. And then Friday, you're not going to practice most likely before the start of the season. So this was the last practice he could have had. The fact that he came back to this suggests to me that he's probably playing Sunday.
Well, he had been participating in walkthroughs, but today he was in uniform. You know what I mean? He was ready to go for real. But I wonder, when you have these little tiffs with a team, whether you're right or wrong, do you expect like a chunk of rust on old Jamar Chase when the Bengals play? Do you think this is going to affect him on the field, or has he just always been at a level where he's all right? It's not his muscle memory for that guy.
Yeah, that's what I think it is for him. He's just such a dominant football player, and it's the speed and it's the size, and he just boxes people out away from footballs that are thrown his way. He'll be all right. The only thing that might come up, of course, is that when guys do this, sometimes there are injuries because you haven't been running and playing full speed all off season. So now you're coming into games where you're doing that. Can you basically get to the speed that everyone else is? Because your body hasn't been used to it. You haven't been doing it.
So, I think Jamar will play. I think he'll play. I think you're safe there. Hey, this is a nice story. The cardiac kid, DeMar Hamlin, he's going to start for the Bills on Sunday against the Cardinals. Yeah, so they got him as a starter. Can I just request that State Farm Stadium not fire off any cannons or do anything that might startle him?
Any loud noises? Well, that's
just in case.
He did play last year.
I know. I'm just saying,
what I'm saying is
how his heart is.
I hope that he had gotten through enough games last year where teams are firing off fireworks and all that kind of stuff that he'll be fine.
We just got to make sure he doesn't get startled. I don't know. Maybe that's not the kind of thing. I mean, I know it was a contact thing that took his heart out of rhythm and screwed him up. Yeah, but still, I'm sure his heart got weakened by the experience. And if you boo, and he's, that's not nice. I mean, that might be something that somebody on the offense is going to do.
Yeah,
just try to scare him. There goes the safety.
I couldn't imagine. That'd be a horrible way to start the season for all parties involved.
Yeah, you think you're being funny, and then he's like, "Oh, Jesus, he's dead."
Yeah, you'd never forgive
yourself. He didn't
yourself.
come back from this one. Now what? Oh, want to get away
and never come back? That's a one-way ticket.
Beer Bob says, "I think State Farm Stadium could blow all the fireworks they want off there. Isn't the game in Buffalo?" Oh, okay. Yeah, you're right. So they'll probably just be like,
"Take it easy on them."
Yay. Just like,
it's Buffalo though.
Yeah.
Everything about that building and those fans are crazy. I don't think that you're going to get a little.
No,
you're not going to get golf claps.
Mm-mm. Well, yeah, I think he'll be fine. I don't think it was that kind of thing. Bat Flipper says, hope your Colts do good. Bet $100 to win $1,800 on them, Bears and Raiders, to make the playoffs. So you're betting for the Colts, the Bears, and the Raiders to make the playoffs. It's like a parlay for $100. Ooh, geez, Bat Flipper.
Raiders. Oh boy, with Gardner Minshew in the AFC West.
This just in, Bat Flipper is buying drinks because he's rich. Because if he can drop 100 on that bet.
Well, I always root for people's success. I hope you get your 1,800, man. But I
do. I do too.
I worry about your chances.
Man, go big or go home.
Yeah.
Bat Flipper ain't going home, is he? Jonesy says, yeah, just burn your money next time.
just give it to me.
Moist One says, hey, Xavier Worthy, Rashi Rice, Sky Moore, Justin Watson, Nicole Hardman, all of them are ahead of Juju, even without Hollywood. Okay, fine.
Yeah,
you'll see.
But I mean,
and if you're right,
then teams rotate receivers.
He was my project.
It's not like Juju's going to go out there and obviously turn into wide receiver one overnight. But he is, he is somebody who can come in and contribute and basically find a spot on that depth chart. He is behind those guys, yes. But
and by the way, Moist One, I have Rashi Rice. I have which one is it? I think I have Justin Watson.
Oh, you've got Watson?
No, I got Xavier. I have Xavier.
Yeah.
I got Xavier Worthy and Rashi Rice. And Juju is just, like I said, a project. And Mr. The Fantasy Football King, he just rode me hard on that one. That's
the thing is with
so much hate.
With
much.
Scott Engel, the king.
Yeah.
If he doesn't like a player, it's completely all the way he doesn't like.
It's kind of his blind side, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, look,
we've talked about the blind sides of most everybody. Sometimes your team could be your blind side. For him, it's people he just doesn't like,
and his team as well.
Yes,
the Seahawks do offer a blind spot to him in particular.
You won't beat him in fantasy football, but I bet my picks are better than his. We should have invited
your picks
him
are
to
really
picks.
good though. Oh, that would have been fun. Yeah.
I bet he still could. I think I'll send him a message, say, dude, get in here.
Let's just see.
But what if he wins the whole damn thing? And then
then he really is the king. I mean, how do you feel bad about that?
Is he? I think he'd be eligible because, he's not an employee.
Oh,
I'm not inviting him.
We can count him as a host though.
I'm not inviting him just because I don't want him to take it away from a listener.
He's a regular with us. He's a regular with Ralph. He could count as a host.
Yeah, I'm not asking him. I am not asking.
That's fair. That's fair.
Moison says, yeah, you need to get rid of Worthy. Listen, like I said, I got a couple guys. My wide receivers are fine. I got a couple of guys just to see what happens with them, see if there's anything worth it. And then, I work the waiver wire. I feel
like I like Worthy better next year. He's just small. And I watched those joint practices and he was just getting knocked over. Like they would just play press coverage on him and just knock his ass over. So I don't know that he's having a good time out there, but he is fast. So like you got Patrick Mahomes as a quarterback. If you can find a way to separate and get open, there'll be opportunities for him to try.
I'm doing fine with my wide receivers. I am not too worried about that. Ringless Joe says none of those teams are making the playoffs. Shut up, Ringless Joe. You don't know that. Bat Flipper says, you guys act like I bet on Cardinals or Vikings or something. Here's the Oh, Bat Flipper.
I'm not saying that the Raiders are as bad, but they're not a playoff team. And you put $100 in that direction.
My first reaction, Bat Flipper, is that is not likely.
You're the worst team in a bad division outside of the Chiefs, man. Like, I don't know what do I make of that?
I think the least likely would be Raiders, then Bears, then Colts. I feel like the Colts have the most solid chance of making the playoffs. I'll be honest, flat bat flipper, I don't feel good about that until I see Anthony Richardson not do dumb things. I'm talking about putting his body in danger. I don't know if the Colts are a playoff team with Joe Flacco at the very last gasp end of his career. I know he did all right that one time, but that doesn't mean he's going to be able to repeat that.
Yeah.
He's very old. So brave, I got to give you credit. Tip of the hat to Bat Flipper on that bet.
Look, if it pays out, good for you. I'm not trying to, kill your buzz or anything. If you're high on that pick and you really believe in it, yeah, you ought to bet it.
I tell you he's not high on it because he started his text, hope your Colts do good. If you're not sure, why did you bet $100 on this?
And if you're not sure about the Colts, what makes you think that you should feel good about the other picks involved in this?
I'm rooting for you, Bat Flipper. I really am. Seeing the Raiders make the playoffs with Gardner Minshew, that'd be fun. Seeing the Bears finally come around after all those draft picks and all that hardship.
If they make the playoffs, then it would have to be because Caleb played well, which means they finally have a quarterback for the first time in all of our lives.
Like your story.
Yeah. If it works out, we'll have a good playoffs even, but
I wouldn't have made that bet, but
if let me put it this way, if you gave me the $100, I wouldn't have made that bet.
Tell you what, Bat Flipper, you win that bet. Not only are you getting $1,800, but I'm buying you a beer and giving you a Fanatic hat. I will personally buy you a beer and give you a Fanatic hat to go on top of that. That's probably worth more than $1,800.
I have to think so.
That's kind of what I think. All right, let's take a break. We'll come back. More football. It's the Daily Blender here on 1580, The Fanatic.
This is Brent Musburger's action update on 1580 and 99.3, The Fanatic. Get insights into the sports betting market with VSiN's betting splits. See where the money is and keep updated on how the market is reacting. Only at VSIN.com. Now, here are the latest lines from my guys in the desert.
The NASCAR Cup Series beginning the 10-race playoff on Sunday. It is the Quaker State 400 at the Atlanta Motor Speedway, 260 laps to complete the 400 miles. Kyle Busch is the betting favorite to win outright at plus 1,200. Joey Logano and Ryan Blaney right behind him at plus 1,250. Brad Keselowski plus 1,300 to win the Quaker State 400. Chase Elliott and William Byron also at plus 1,300. It'll be a 43-driver field for Sunday's race. Only 16 are in the playoffs. I'm Tony Desiri with your VSiN Action Update on 1580 and 99.3 The Fanatic.
Breaking news coming in from Bet365, where every nail-biting overtime win, breakaway, pick six, three-point shot, underdog win, buzzer beater, shootout, walk-off, and absolutely every play in between is amazing. From football to basketball and hockey to baseball, whatever the moment, it's never ordinary at Bet365. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-NEXT-STEP. 21 plus only. Must be physically located in Arizona.
Life insurance. Why are you putting it off? Can't afford it? Too much hassle? Think you don't need it? There's lots of excuses for putting off life insurance. But if you weren't there, who would pay the mortgage and other bills? With Ethos, you could be covered in 10 minutes and boom, family protected. Ethos, fast and easy online term life insurance. Up to $2 million in coverage with no medical exam. Some policies as low as $1 a day. Answer a few health questions and get your free quote at checkethos.com. That's checkethos.com.
Everybody's got a podcast these days. Comedy, politics, true crime, you name it. But how many actually teach you anything useful? Harmon Solar has an entertaining podcast that is vital if you've been thinking about looking into solar, but you don't know where to start. Ralph and Ben explore the intricacies of utilities, equipment, processes, and more. Their primary objective is to educate and empower you to make informed decisions on your solar journey. So increase your knowledge, not your bills. Go check it out right now. It's the Harmon Solar Podcast at harmonsolar.com.
AZ Preps 365, your source for all the news, info, highlights, and more. Athlete news and interviews. Talk with coaches. Keep you up to date with the changes, moves, upcoming events, and more. AZ Preps 365, Arizona's ultimate prep sports show. If you miss a minute, you miss a lot. AZ Preps 365, Saturday mornings 8 till 10 on 1580 and 99.3 The Fanatic, and always on at 1580thefanatic.com.
Total Wireless is made to totally keep up with you. We now have unlimited data that never slows you down, covered by the Verizon 5G network, and all for less than $30 a month when you get 4 lines. And the best part, we give you a free Samsung Galaxy A54 5G when you switch to the Total 5G Plus Unlimited plan. Visit your local Total Wireless store today. Total Wireless, we're totally with you. Actual speeds may vary by location. For data management practices, see TotalWireless.com.
What's up, everybody? Nick Costos here, host of You Better You Bet, reminding you to check out the show. Now, why should you check out You Better You Bet? Because we bring you the most fun. We bring you the most insightful, the most entertaining show in the wagertainment world. From up-to-the-minute breakdowns of backdoor covers, bad beats, and the cheers and tears that come alongside them. Plus, you'll get the best betting analysis anywhere from myself, Ken Barkley, and some of the best minds in the sports wagering world. So tune in weekdays, noon to 3 on Arizona sports betting station, 1580 and 99.3, The Fanatic.
Dang Blender here on 1580, The Fanatic, and the moist one is bullying me online. Do we have any PSAs about bullying online?
About cyberbullying? We might
I'm being cyberbullied right now. 2-time Premier League winner Moist One just sent me this trade. He says he wants Xavier Worthy in exchange for TJ Hawkinson. That's just online bullying. Why do you even have him? He's on the pup list.
Well, that's why. Like, people have him stashed. So you draft him and then you put him on the pup list, and then
can you trade somebody that you've got in IR?
Yeah, I think so.
I didn't know that. I didn't know you could trade somebody out of the IR, because if I gave him Xavier Worthy and Hawkinson was on the IR, wouldn't he have to drop another player to make room for him?
That I don't know, actually. I don't know how NFL.com does that. But Hawkinson's a guy that, people have stashed away for later. Maybe you didn't quite get the tight end you wanted. Hawkinson's really good when he's healthy. Just you got to wait for him.
Why is NFL.com platform is so damn glitchy? I
haven't really looked at it since draft day.
Well, it was really glitchy draft day, and then in between, it seemed like it settled down. And like right now, I'm trying to find certain things on here. Like the whole menu on the top is just gone, doesn't exist. Is anybody else having issues? Yeah, we're definitely probably going to move to that sleeper platform next year. But I just didn't want to have to ever move again, to be honest.
Well, yeah, you were telling me about the process of moving back from the ESPN, because I had just started working here when you did that.
Pain in the ass.
Yeah, you were not happy. So,
but I am better prepared for it. I am better prepared for it now, because I have a database of emails and names of all the people who play. So to start us up in a new league, it's going to be about 1,000,000% easier as long as everybody responds to their emails, which plus minus, that happening. So I guess if somebody's on the pup list, you can't put them on reserve. I have a lot of questions. I guess I don't have any answers. 888-368-1580. Back to the text line. We have a new texter here on the text line. 9116 says rookie quarterbacks in the first game are 2-18-1 all time. Bears are not winning nor covering the spread. You're not wrong about the record.
Yeah, but like there are 2 wins in there for a reason, right? Like, so I don't care about the all-time record of rookie quarterbacks. I care about specifically what is this team capable of? Is Caleb Williams capable of being one of those outliers? Is this roster built in a way to help him become one of those outliers? And I genuinely do not know. What I do know, though, is that I just don't think the Titans are very good.
Moist One says he auto drafted Hawkinson along with his kicker and Quentin Johnson.
Woof. Quentin Johnson. Eee.
I don't know. I could do this trade, and I put Hawkinson on IR, and then I have a whole nother empty slot. I could do what I want.
Yeah.
But the fact that he wants Worthy and says I need to get rid of Worthy tells me
to be suspicious.
Yeah. He's a 2-time champion
for a reason.
I don't think I'm going to do this.
It's like there are just certain GMs. Howie Roseman calls you up and asks you for a trade. Think twice about making that trade.
Raven Kid says I put Hawkinson on IR in League One, so I know you can. Okay, so it is a thing. Sir Drives a Lot says I've had issues. Draft night was fun. Yes, it was. Sir Drives a Lot. Were you? Wait, yeah. Were you there? Did I meet you, Sir Drives a Lot? I feel like I did. Oh, that's right, I did. Yeah. Sorry, I have a hard time putting faces and names together, but yes, I think it was fun.
I think Sir Drives a Lot might have left by the time I got there.
Yeah, I have like I remember he was over to the left of me. That's where he was with some other people's. Yes. Anyway, so here's the question, Raven Kid: can you instigate a trade of somebody on the IR? I do not know. You should try it and then quickly take it back if it allows you to, ask for it. So if you could do that in League One, like, hey, you want to trade? Psych. Pull one of those. Let me know if it's even a thing. Chosen One says, we're using Sleeper in 2 of my other leagues. It's easy to use and draft. Also stash both Hawk and Chubb on the IR. Have Ford as a starter until Chubb returns. All right.
That's pretty sharp.
Wait a minute. I always get Chubb and Chubba Hubbard confused for each other.
Nick Chubb.
Nick Chubb. Better than
Chubba
Hubba.
Yeah.
Okay. Maybe that's why I end up with Chubba Hubba. Ringless Joe says, Keon, no. Williams only had 50% completion rating in vanilla coverage. This is a case of City of Success star fans getting hyped for nothing.
I mean, we'll see. Now, I do think that there's some stuff with Caleb Williams that he has to improve. The fact is he runs around with the ball too much. There are times where the guy that he should be looking at first is open, but because he is so athletic and because he does have such a big arm and can kind of throw off platform and all kinds of stuff, he does. You don't always have to just because you can. And I think he's got to learn to take the simple stuff. That'll get him into trouble. And I think that's the 50% we're looking at. Because I watched one of the preseason games and I'm like, he's running around and he threw a touchdown, but it's like you could have had a first down right there. The touchdown was not guaranteed. And you're going to have more plays where that doesn't work than plays where it does work.
Sir Drives Lot's laughing at me. He's like, I wasn't there. I missed out. I had issues with the website, especially draft night. Oh, yeah, we all did. So who is the guy with the epic sideburns mutton chop kind of thing?
Oh, yeah, I saw that guy.
You know, that's who I thought. Who is he again?
Oh, I don't know.
Jeez. Now
he had Civil War mutton chops.
That's what I'm saying. They were epic.
1800s mutton chops.
He was there with his wife. Lacrosse guy says maybe the bet is only one of those 3 teams make the playoff. Well, no, he's made the bet. It's a parlay. It's $100 parlay of the Colts and the Bears and the Raiders. Very brave. Raven Kid says, I believe you can trade somebody off the IR. It would just require the person getting the non-IR player to drop somebody once the trade goes through. Right. That's what I figured. Just I've never seen it done. Never seen anybody actually do a trade for somebody on the injured reserve.
Yeah.
Kind of want to try this.
I'm not a big preseason trade person. I drafted the team I liked. Why am I trading them away? Unless you're offering me just something, you're tanking yourself for some reason. Probably not taking that trade.
Yeah, I got to be honest. Like I said, I felt pretty good about my draft. And in the later rounds, I got a little sloppy. You know, you kind of stop caring. At a certain point, you're like, yeah, okay, whatever. When you're like,
I tried to stay focused to the end this time.
I'll be honest. I worked the waiver wire so much that I just I don't get too bent out of shape about it. It's just a crapshoot when you get down to those last bunch of rounds,
Yeah.
Like I said, and I don't mind with my later round picks trying something out with Juju Smith-Schuster or somebody else. Big George says, Jeffrey, I will trade you the ghost of Johnny Unitas for Patrick Mahomes. You interested? Well, there is no ghost of Patrick Mahomes. He's still alive. Now, if you want to trade souls, like bet each other, it's like, yeah, I'll bet you something. And if I win, I get your soul. Now we're talking.
Okay.
Because then I've got your soul. I own your soul.
But I feel like we can't do anything with Patrick Mahomes' soul and Johnny Unitas' soul because they have to be in on it.
But I would then sell your soul for something great.
I've got this spare soul.
Yeah.
So
I get myself something great for that. Oh, the problem is you're a lawyer. Not sure I'm going to get much for that soul. I feel like even if I try to sell your soul to the devil, he's going to be like, lawyer? I don't know. This feels wrong. Kind of
that's not where I thought you were going with that.
I'll be like, no, George is a great guy. He's a lawyer. No, you're right. That's right. Baker's Cocky Hen says Nick Chubb is a beast. If anyone can have an amazing year, after that it is him. 12-1 comeback player of the year. 2 years in a row, Brown will win the award. Not quite the 150-1 on the Flacco odds. I hate that it's a Brown. And I'm just sitting back. Excellent. Just waiting. Just watching what's listening to Deshaun Watson talk about himself. I'm like, okay. Yeah. I'm not going to watch the game, but I'll watch the hell out of the replay of something getting snapped. I was aghast at the Joe Theismann. I'm going to eat popcorn when it's Deshaun Watson. Chief Skull says, is this bet between Big George and Jeffrey a bad Scooby-Doo episode? It might. It might be. I don't know. Oh, what's this? I missed your text there earlier. Sorry about that, man. He says, plus 850. What the hell? Bears will be fourth in division. I think the Vikings will have more upside this year. I'm choking, but the division is up to Detroit. Quiet Boogie. Quiet Green Bay. What's he talking about?
I'm not actually 100% certain, though, for the Bears being obviously fourth in that division. They'll be fighting for it with the Vikings.
That was his text to the Beat the Book earlier.
Oh.
That's what that was.
That did not show up.
I was going to say.
During Beat the Book earlier.
You got to occasionally hit reload. Are you in charge of reading the text?
I am, yeah.
You got to just.
Yeah, I mean, they were coming in. They were populating. I thought I got to all of them.
I'll be honest. I did log in about like 5 till. So hopefully that wasn't because I was on there. See, I told you guys, can't have more than one person on the text line at a time or else bad things happen.
When Beat the Book is over, I jump off the text line.
Ooh, that might have been my fault. Sorry about that. Raven Kid says, you guys want a sleeper to win comeback player of the year? It'd be weird. And the dude is still a very bad person, but Matt Araiza, the punter for the Chiefs. You know, the NFL loves the Chiefs and giving them awards. Wait, the guy who, he's not necessarily, is he a bad person?
I thought he was cleared.
Raven Kid. I thought, he was exonerated. Not just like got like not guilty, but like they're like totally didn't happen kind of stuff. I mean, I'm willing to leave, Rapesburger status on this kid if he actually did something wrong, but gotta be careful, man. If this kid didn't do a thing, then he didn't do a thing.
I mean, he got dropped from the lawsuit. So
well, that doesn't mean he didn't do a thing.
Yeah. And so I don't know what that means necessarily, but he wasn't implicated in anything. And, like the suing her for defamation was on the table and he said he wouldn't do it. So I don't know.
It still doesn't mean
that's true. I assumed it was, but now that I'm looking at it, I'm not sure.
Bat Flipper says if he wins his parlay bet, he'll donate it to Sports Angels. Like I donated the jersey I won last year for winning a week. We never did get that jersey.
So you couldn't donate it because unfortunately for you, and
Oh,
because
did
of a
you never
certain-
get your jersey? Or you just never win a week? Yeah, I feel like I'm never getting. Yeah, I think I get it now. Yeah. Choisin One says first trade of the year in my other league: DK Metcalf for Derrick Henry. I got Derrick Henry. Still have Harrison and London as starting wide receiver. I don't know where DK Metcalf is, but isn't he kind of nuts right now? Is he looking to? What team is he on? Is he still
with Seattle?
Still with Seattle?
Yeah. He's still fine. He's
okay.
Yeah.
I know he's kind of crazy.
I mean, he is, but he still plays football well.
Yeah. All right. Would you? Which one would you want, Derrick Henry or DK Metcalf?
That's a good
We're in a PPR league.
I would say Derrick Henry.
Yeah, I kind of lean that way too.
And you get the play action and the RPOs with Lamar Jackson. There are going to be lanes for Derrick Henry he's never seen in his life.
CK says, yeah, Keon didn't read my text on the first Beat the Book show, so I didn't bother texting in today.
I read all the ones I can, man. I don't know what to tell you. I everything that's there, I try to see it. Sometimes if you send a text in the last segment,
it lags sometimes.
Then I might not see it.
Well, here's the thing.
Before the end of the show, but
there is no text on that day from UCK. First show was Tuesday, and I'm looking at your log. Your last text was August 31st. Your next one was September 3rd at 4:27 to this show. So
something happened where your text didn't make it in.
Yeah.
Because I try to read all of them, and I know I missed one yesterday. I don't think it was CK though, and I know I missed one today where I pre-read the text, but I never got back to actually reading it. So that's my fault. I'm going to get better about that. But no, please text in. Appreciate that.
Well, now I got to handle another thing. Bat Flipper says neither did I. Well, okay. Did you win one? Did you? Because I thought that all of them had been taken care of. Did you? Send me an email again. Send me an email. We'll take care of that because we thought they'd all been taken care of. Huh. I don't know what's going on, Pat Flipper. But thank you for the thought. I hope you win your bet. And not because you just want to give it to me. I just hope you win the bet. Baker's Cocky Hen says, Keon does a great job reading texts. What time are you guys off tomorrow? I think those two things are separate. But yeah, Keon, he's a professional broadcaster, And tomorrow, 4:30. So 3 to 4, we're doing our picks. At 4, the Fantasy Football King is going to be on answering your fantasy football questions from 4 until 4:30. 4:30, Westwood One takes over with Kevin Harland and Kurt Warner for your very first football game of the year. Yeah, usually they do Monday Night Football, but they're doing both this time. They're doing Thursday, and then they're coming back Monday again to do it. So that's what's happening tomorrow, Baker's Cocky Hens. Oh, no, Bat Flipper, I believe you. Just send me the email. We're going to if I got to pay for this out of my own damn pocket, we're going to get that sorted. Let's see. Raven Kid says, I don't care what the line is for rushing yards for the Ravens tomorrow, but I'll take that over. Ravens forgetting running the ball is the reason they lost the AFC Championship. When they were running the ball, the average was really good. Why do you expect they're going to do it different? Because
during the regular season, that was their bread and butter. And then they just lost their damn minds in that playoff game.
All right. Well, okay. There you go, Raven Kid. Moist One says, I had to complete 3 riddles before Nick DiCaprio sent me my jersey.
Today I learned that Nick DiCaprio is a Sphinx.
What is your favorite color? What is your quest? CK says, yeah, I sent 2 at 2:03. It's all good. It's weird, man, because they are not here.
Didn't see him.
Raven Kid says, you don't get Derrick Henry and not start including him in the game plan, sir.
We agree.
I appreciate your appropriate respect.
We agree on this.
And we agree that is a good idea. But we also agree that they blew it in the AFC Championship. So what makes you think they won't blow it again? That's the question. Got to take a break. We'll be back. We got On This Date in Big George's sports history and stuff. It's the Daily Blender here on 1580 The Fanatic.
It's fall football on the Fanatic. Catch all the live game play-by-play, Monday night, Thursday night, and Sunday day and night NFL games, plus the Saturday NCAA football game of the week. It's all right here on the Valley's home for football. 1580 and 99.3, The Fanatic, brought to you by Bet365. Whatever the moment, it's never ordinary at Bet365.
This is an urgent announcement for anyone that's $10,000 or more in debt. Before you make another minimum payment, you need to know there are special programs that can completely free you of your debt. Total Financial Freedom can help you become debt-free in months instead of years. Resolve your credit card debt, signature loans, department store cards, internet loans, and timeshares. Call Total Financial Freedom now at 800-832-2366 for a free consultation. For 17 years, Total Financial Freedom has helped thousands get out of debt. You can feel confident when calling because Total Financial Freedom is A+ rated by the Better Business Bureau. Battling for years and years, stuck in the endless cycle of minimum payments could take decades. You have the right to get your debt resolved and substantially reduce your monthly payments. Call Total Financial Freedom now at 800-832-2366. That's 800-832-2366. 800-832-2366. Not available in all states.
Hi, guys. Jeffrey O'Brien here. Have you ever gone to HarmonSolar.com? Well, you really need to, because everything you ever wanted to know about how solar power can save you big on your monthly electric bill is right there. It's online. Through your phone or through your computer, you can learn about tax credits, the equipment they use, look at how they do things for businesses as well as homeowners, see testimonials from happy customers, and I hear they got a pretty good podcast, too. Check it out. Go to HarmonSolar.com. That's HarmonSolar.com.
With Labor Day savings at the Home Depot, you can upgrade your home with up to $1,500 off select appliances from top brands like Whirlpool. Enhance your kitchen with quality and convenience from Whirlpool, like the freestanding electric range with built-in air fryer and the tall tub dishwasher with third rack, all available at the Home Depot. Right now, shop Labor Day savings up to $1,500 off select appliances at the Home Depot. How doers get more done. Pricing valid August 22nd through September 11th. U.S. only. See store online for details.
Hi, I'm State School Superintendent Tom Horn. I am making $40 million available to parents of all Arizona public and charter school students for free tutoring in reading and math, so we can raise academic proficiency, which is my highest priority. Money is available for all students in grades 1 through high school. Teachers who do the tutoring will also earn money, which they deserve. Sign up at azed.gov. Thank you.
Sponsored by the Arizona Department of Education.
1580 and 99.3 The Fanatic.
Live and local.
It's a Danny Blender here on 1580 The Fanatic. That's it. 14 minutes left in this hour. And then, less than 24 hours till the new NFL season starts. Oh, boy, oh, boy, oh, boy, oh, boy, oh, boy. Oh. I mean, I don't want to get weird. I'm not one of these guys who has birthday months. I'm not one of these guys who says, oh, it's Christmas Eve. Yeah. Oh, but football season.
Yeah, on football eve. That's serious.
It is football eve. And tomorrow it's the real deal. The real damn deal. No more preseason, no more practices, no more training, this or that or whatever. It's real. It counts. It immediately counts. Who do you think the surprise team is going to be this year? Where we're like, holy crap, they're good. And then, holy crap, they're bad. What do you think the extremes will be in the NFL that might be surprising? Like, I think the Green Bay Packers might be a surprisingly better team than I think. I know a lot of people probably think they're pretty good, but I don't know. That Green Bay smells like they're better than we thought they'd be. But who smells like they're not going to be? Is it the Bills? Everybody's like, the Bills. But we already kind of know that they're in trouble.
The Bills feel like that to me. I mean, it depends with the Rams. The Rams, I think, are very talented, but they have not been able to figure out what to do on the defensive side of the ball since Aaron Donald's been gone. And that's going to be a problem. That's just, they're going to have to outscore people. And if they can't do that, if Cooper Kupp can't stay healthy, Puka's got an injury, like if they're hobbled throughout the season, I think the Rams could be worse than we think.
I think the Jets are the great unknown. They are absolutely unknown because I am not confident that Aaron Rodgers is going to be worth a damn.
And it all depends on Rodgers. Like that's the problem with the Jets. That's the reason why Aaron Rodgers can just skip camp and go to Egypt or whatever other nonsense he's up to, and they don't say anything. It's because they know the rest of the roster is fine. They just need Aaron Rodgers to play at some kind of good level, and they got to keep him happy to do that. But it doesn't matter how happy he is. What's his Achilles like?
Mm-hmm. And that's not a metaphor. His literal Achilles.
Yeah, like literally, what is his Achilles like? And by the way, that same thing applies to Kirk Cousins in Atlanta.
I was just about to bring them up. Atlanta could be one of those teams where you're like, whoa, suddenly they're good. They got some pieces, and Kirk Cousins, if he's functional, is solid. I mean, but he's kind of a dope, but he's solid.
But he is solid, and he was having a really good season last year before he got hurt. And then, you've got talent on that offense, Bijan, Kyle Pitts, Drake London. The offensive line's not terrible. Like that could be a really good team. Just depends on what Kirk Cousins is. And their defense isn't bad either. And maybe Matthew Judon helps with that pass rush that they've been looking for the last decade.
Baker's Cocky Hen says the Bills have a better shot of the owner's daughter winning the U.S. Open than a Super Bowl. Pegula into the semifinals. Is it Pegula or Pegula?
I
like Pegula, like Caligula.
I've heard it pronounced Pegula, but I don't know.
Pegula. Baker's Cocky Hen says also, I don't get this Ravens love. They added an old, slow Derrick Henry. They lost their defensive coordinator. Ravens will finish third in their division this season. They'll be lucky to make the playoffs as a wild card at best. I think you're forgetting a few things about the Ravens.
The Ravens were incredibly banged up at running back last year. Derrick Henry is not significantly worse than what they had going on last year. They were already hurt at the position. Derrick Henry is slower than he used to be, but let's not act like Derrick Henry can no longer run, can no longer play the position. A year ago he was still a 1,000+ yard rusher. So he's not prime Derrick Henry. He's not King Henry Derrick Henry anymore.
Right.
But the guy can still play. And you have to also consider the boost that a lot of these running backs get when they play with these mobile quarterbacks. Lamar Jackson, because you have to account for his legs, when they run a run-pass option and you're not sure if Derrick Henry or Lamar Jackson has the ball, that makes life easier for Derrick Henry. He's going to have holes to run through. He's going to have gaps to run through that he hasn't seen since he was playing football in Alabama. That's just because Lamar's there. And if you don't take that into account, then you just look at his age, which 29, that's scary time for a running back. That's usually when they start to fall off. But they're not asking Derrick Henry to be the guy that carries the offense like the Titans asked him to be. He's just now a part of an offense. I think he can do that.
Well, Ringless Joe has an opinion. He says, better than expected, Cardinals, Commandos, Panthers, Buccaneers, Broncos. Worse than expected, Bears, Bills, Texans, Jets.
I don't know that the Cardinals are going to be better than expected because I think a lot of people are pretty high on the Cardinals.
Dude, and we didn't want you to list off 5-6 teams. One team, one team for each.
Don't be greedy. But no, I think a lot of people actually are kind of high on the Cardinals. I mean, put the national media to the side. There are a lot of people in the NFL that are impressed with what the Cardinals have been doing since last year, and they think they're going to build on it.
Badfish says, don't sleep on Arizona, Washington, and Chicago this year.
I'm cautiously optimistic.
You know what? Maybe I wouldn't
Washington.
mind you guys listing all these things off if somebody said Colts in there somewhere.
But I think that people think the Colts are going to be solid.
Oh, okay.
I
felt like I was getting left out
if
here.
If the Colts had a good season, say they made the playoffs, would you be shocked? They almost made the playoffs last year with Gardner Minshew. If Anthony Richardson can play more intelligently, safer, would you be shocked if they made the playoffs? Because I wouldn't be.
I'll be surprised. I mean, I'm not going to be surprised. I don't know. I think the playoffs is attainable, but I just don't. I don't know. I wouldn't be surprised if they didn't too. I don't know what I've got yet. I need to see a couple of games. And the Texans game actually is a good judge because that ain't going to be an easy game. That's not a gimme. That's not a walkthrough. That's, that could be something.
That's a team with a really good quarterback and 3 incredibly talented wide receivers.
Right.
That's going to be tough and a good defense.
I'm not going to give up on them if they lose that game, because that is a tough team. But I figure if they win that game, now I'm like, okay, I know what we've got. If they lose that game, then I'm like, okay, I need to see a little more here. But, I'm not happy. So, all right, ladies and gentlemen, it's time for On This Date in Big George's sports history. Back in the year 1993, New York Yankees pitcher Jim Abbott, the former University of Michigan star and United States gold medal winning Olympian, who was born without a right hand, pitched 4-0, no hitter against the visiting Cleveland Indians after he got Carlos Baguera to ground out to shortstop Randy Velarde for the final out. Jim Abbott played 10 seasons in the major leagues for the California Angels. Yeah, he was on the Yankees and the White Sox and the Brewers from 1989 to 1999. Without his hand. So that, that's fairly impressive. Let's give him a hand. I mean, a round of applause just for Jim Abbott.
That's pretty cool. Not going to lie to you.
So I remember seeing him play, and he'd pitch, but then he would also flip the glove over and catch with the left.
That's very cool.
Yeah. So he can't remember how he did. Oh, he did it with his chin, I think. I can't remember how he pitched. How did he do that?
I don't know.
It was
People
a
who
weird
manage to play sports at a high level with an appendage missing, you have all my respect.
I think what it is he had an arm, so that's what it was. He would hold the glove like up to him, and he would pitch, and then he would switch over and put the glove on his hand. I think that's what it was. All I know is when I've seen it, like, oh, I couldn't do that. I mean, you do what you got to do, I guess.
Yeah.
Silver Pop says, Keon, no, Keon. Colts won't be solid. Quarterback will get hurt again. They'll have a worse record than the Cardinals. Why would you wish that on my quarterback? Yeah. Is it because I wish that on the Browns quarterback? Well, Anthony Richardson's, he hasn't raped anyone. He hasn't sexually assaulted anyone. So why would you wish that on him?
Yeah. And also, I don't know that Anthony Richardson's going to get hurt. I don't predict injuries. I don't predict that kind of stuff because those are all variables outside of control. You could use that logic to say Joe Burrow gets hurt every single season, but no, he hasn't finished seasons too. He went to a Super Bowl one year.
Joe Burrow was like, man, this is weird. What's that? Just going through the entire camp and actually starting the season. That's just,
what does that even feel like?
Yeah, because I'm always injured. Huh. Baker's Cocky Hen says, yeah, that dude held the glove with his nub. Well, I said that. I didn't say it as me, in the nub. I'm sorry. Just the first thing that comes to mind when I heard nub.
Dun, 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 dun.
Silver Pop says, I wasn't wishing injury, Jeffrey. I'm just going off last season. Yeah, I know.
Well, it's not last season.
I'm hoping he learned. I hope. Oh, all right, guys. We'll see you tomorrow. It's the Daily Blender here on 1580.